I'm trying to stand just on my tiptoes so you can see my festive orange shirt and my Halloween festive black and white striped shirt. Well, actually, you can still see that. I won't be able to stand on my tiptoes very long. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hello. Happy day before Halloween. Ooh, I just remembered something. My coffee's across the room. I kind of need that for a minute. Hang on. Hello, everybody. Okay, here we go. Here's my coffee that I need to be drinking. Oh yes, Mandy, my little. So, this is my little Halloween costume for the day, right? Hola, Donna from San Jose. Yes, because, well, I was just going to go on a whole tangent. I know that wouldn't surprise you guys. I have worn the ears twice so far this Halloween season. First off, when I taught my Boo mini book class, I donned the ears. And then 2 weekends ago, I was teaching at a retreat in Southern California. My friend Lizzie Lou did, and it was a Halloween themed retreat. So I sported the ears that weekend as well. Well, one of the days. Anyhow, so good morning, everyone. Okay, Susan, I'm glad you said your name because I definitely would not have recognized your little YouTube handle. Susan and I met last weekend in Milwaukee at an event that I taught at called She Loves Color. Anyhow, okay, lots and lots of little comments floating by that I'm trying to catch over here out of my little side eye. Anyhow, and I'll catch up on those in a minute. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, doesn't it feel like it's been forever? It kind of has, right? It's been 3 weeks. Holy cow. 3 weeks ago was the last time I did one of our List With Me live sessions. I went to get my coffee and then I didn't drink it. So let's have a sip. This is kind of a funny little segue too. There's gonna be lots of segues today. Just get ready. Hi, Pam. So Nick, my husband, a lot of you feel like you know him. He's very dear to me. He treats me very much like a princess, which is very nice of him. Anyhow, forever, he gets up in the morning and makes us coffee. And usually we have coffee in bed while we're reading or on our phones or whatever. Well, I really like the Ray Dunn mugs. I have lots of them. This fun one was given to me by at an event a couple of years ago, right after, like 3 months after I kind of went out on my own and started Mail by Mail. Anyhow, 2 of my friends gave that to me at the event. Anyhow, Nick, when he does the coffee, since I have lots of Ray Dunn, he picks out usually coordinating mugs for us. So it's kind of funny. Like there's a hubby and a wife and things like that. So he always picks out the coordinating ones, and he will have the hubby one, I'll have the wife one. But today he gave me Girl Boss, which is kind of fun. Okay. So 3 weeks since we've all been together, which it seems like forever and a day. I was traveling 2 weekends in a row, teaching in person, which I haven't done in, oh my gosh, forever. And that actually is one of the things I'll list about today. One of our lists is things I missed about, and then you can fill in the blank. And missed being past tense for me, because mine is things I missed about teaching in person. Now, you, I would assume, would have different things that you'd fill in the blank. And it's kind of appropriate, at least for me, as part of my regular life is starting to kind of ramp up again, and that involves traveling and teaching. But some of you may still be missing things and not quite to the past tense missed. So you could have your list be things I miss. Okay, Susan, I think. I live in Utah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, this is dangerous. Sometimes I catch comments and then realize maybe that question wasn't for me. You could be asking someone else. Anyhow, I live in Utah. So let's back up all the way to the beginning. Welcome. If we haven't met before, you're like, what in the heck is going on? I normally don't dress up. Well, I'm not really dressed up, but normally don't wear ears. It just happens to be the day before Halloween. So why not? We've got to get the mileage out of our little Halloween things as much as we can, right? So my name is Lael Konkar. If we haven't met before, this is kind of what I do. We've been doing this every Saturday when I'm not traveling here on my YouTube channel since March 21st, I believe, of 2020. So kind of started early in the COVID days. We've been doing it ever since. And it has turned into something that I look forward to absolutely every Saturday because this is a time that I get to be social. I know it seems weird when I say I get to be social, but we're all together, right? We're all over the world. There are people all over the world. I know Canada. I've seen US. You guys commenting. I saw somebody, I think in the UK. Usually we have Australia, Europe. We have people from all over. So, and you know who I haven't seen in a long time? We had our friend from Nairobi, and I haven't seen her in a while. So I need to reach out to her and see if everything's okay. But sometimes life happens, right? Life gets in the way of our Saturdays, as it did for me the last 2 weekends. So, if you don't know, I have a business and it's called Lail by Mail. I travel and teach to events, to scrapbook stores, sometimes internationally, it kind of just depends. And then lately, a lot of virtual things. So I have a few more virtual things happening over the next couple weeks. I also have a website, and that website is lailbymail.com. And on that website, I have all kinds of products. Traveler's notebooks, mini book project kits, different kinds of project kits, traveler's notebook project kits, and then all of the things that kind of go along with those. So a lot of the things that I like to use when I am working in my traveler's notebooks. As we are working today, there will be all kinds of products that I use. And interestingly enough, before all of this started way back in March of 2020, I maybe carried a couple of traveler's notebooks on my website. That was it. It was all project kits. And through everything that we've been doing over the last year and a half, early on, people started saying, where did you get that? Where can I find that? Ooh, I like that. I don't know what that is. Where can I find it? And I started thinking, you know what? Maybe I should start carrying some products so that people that are joining me, if they don't have a local scrapbook store, then they can get them from me. So as we're working, I always include links in the description of the video down below. So there's a ton of links. Links of products that I'll be using as we work today, links of some of my tools, because I always get questions about those, different kinds of things like that. So in some cases, those are products that I carry on my website. In other cases, there are links to places that you can find them. One last thing before we really dig in. I always encourage you, if you have a local independent mom and pop scrapbook store, or I really should say local independent mom and pop fill in the blank, coffee shop, yarn store, grocer, restaurant, whatever it is, I strongly encourage you to shop there. It's really important for our local communities that we're supporting our local communities and the small independently owned businesses in our communities. So if you have something like that, scrapbook store, I encourage you to shop there, please. And if not, well, you know where to find me. Okay, friends, so we have a number of things. Well, first of all, we had a couple giveaways. We did 2 giveaways 3 weekends ago, whenever it was. Let me just look really quick. I need to check the comments really quick because I know lots of you are saying hi and I feel like I'm, completely ignoring, but it's hard for me to talk and interact and then look over here at the same time. So, we have, hi, Arnetta from Florida, and we have, Karen from the Netherlands. I love it that you guys are saying, how are things? Like Colleen just asked Karen Haynes, how's your ankle? That's one of the really cool things that has come out of this in the last, year and a half that we've been together. A lot of you are starting to get to know each other in the chat, and I love that. That's kind of this really awesome little community that has organically grown out of what we've been doing. So I love that. And I missed you guys. I did I did a class earlier this week. It was the November setup for the Traveler's Notebook, the people that buy my bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook kits. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I've missed you guys so much. It just felt so weird. And now it feels so good to be back. Kathy from Washington. Hi, Mindy. Mindy from Oklahoma. Michelle's in Georgia. Hi, Sandy. And I was going to say, it's funny. I read Sandy's comment. It said all about the scrapbook store in Dixon. Sandy, I don't know if that's where you were, but I read that first and I thought you were Frances because I know Frances is there a lot of times when she's tuning in on a Saturday. All right. Wanda, thank you. Okay, friends. So, hi, Kathy. I'm sure I missed lots of you. I just saw Diane's comment, and Diane says, don't forget the thumbs up. Yes, please. That's so important. I always like to say we got to drown out the couple negative Nellies that like to come on and give it a thumbs down. And I say, you know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, just move on. I know I'm not for everyone. And if I'm not for you, life's too short for you to even spend 1/100th of a second to come here and give the video a thumbs down, right? So let's drown out all those negative Nellies and thumbs up. Kimberly. Oh, Kimberly, I love your name. You know why? I'm sure. Kimberly's name is Kimberly Clark. That is a company And anytime I used to have a friend that worked for Kimberly Clark years ago, so that's kind of fun. And it is Kimberly's, she said, it is her first time here, so welcome. Those of you that are first timers, like Kimberly, I love it, love it, love it when you pop in the chat and say hello. Everybody's so friendly, I promise you. Everyone's super friendly. Just pop in the chat so we know that you're here and say hello. Everybody's super welcoming. If you are watching live and it's one of your first times or your first time, there is a chat that happens over on the right-hand side, at least of my screen. That's where I can see it. So if you want to interact in chat, even if you just pop in and say, hi, first time, or sometimes some of you are like long time watchers, first time commenters, right? You like to lurk, I get that. But if you want to just pop in and say hello, that is awesome. Oh, there's another Kimberly, I love it. 2 Kimberlys that are both first timers. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Madeline, she watches all the time, but first time catching live. All right, friends, so if you're watching live, welcome. We talked about the chat. If you're not watching live, and I know there are a lot of you that don't watch live and you catch the replay, that's awesome. Welcome. And here's the secret. If you didn't know that I wasn't live, like if you just clicked on something and you didn't know I was live, you wouldn't, that I wasn't, you know what I'm saying. If you didn't know I wasn't live, it's almost like being live, right? So it's okay if you couldn't be here. But I would love it if you still leave a comment. So you can leave a comment on the video itself. Let me know that you're here, because I want to know that you're here. I always see numbers. I see, oh, this many people watched. 3,028 people watched last week. And I'm like, well, that's fun, but who are those people? I want to know. Okay, yes, welcome newbies. Okay, friends, we had 2 giveaways back on October 9th. And if you are new, the way that I do the giveaways, I do a giveaway every week because I like to give things away. I think it's fun. Oh, really quick segue, because you know we're going to squirrel, right? We're going to squirrel. Those of you that participated in my November Traveler's Notebook setup class earlier this week, and my husband Nick had been out of town and walked in with lottery tickets or Powerball or whatever, and I had said, oh my gosh, if we win, all the people on class tonight, I will share something with you. We didn't win. And I promise you we didn't win, because that's not my way of saying, oh, we won, but I don't want to share. Fortunately, we didn't win. So we had I said I do giveaways. That was a total segue of what could have been a really fun giveaway, right? So always do giveaways because I like to give things away and I think it's fun. So last week we had 2 different giveaways. I did some stamps that were donated by, hang on, I gotta look at my little handy dandy notebook. Jane Sarah Shone Khan. One of our fellow people that hangs out with us on Saturdays, she had donated. She moved to Belgium and sent me a huge bag of all different kinds of things, lots of stamps, and said, feel free to keep what you'd like and then give others away. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to give a ton away. So last week, we did a giveaway for these, and I drew this morning. The winner of these stamps is currently Kate. So currently Kate. I always will reply to your comment on the video. So currently Kate wins these 2 stamps. And the way that you enter the giveaway is you just leave a comment on the video. So not in the chat, but in the video itself. So once we're done, make a mental note, because of course we're going to do a giveaway again today. And I'll tell you about that in a sec. So the other prize was 3 different washi tape bundles for Halloween. Washi Halloween. And those go to Danielle Cries. I'm going to say Cries, maybe like fries, Kries. I also emailed Danielle. So fun prizes this week. Okay, let's talk about Let's talk about prizes for next week, or the prizes that I draw for next week. New product, you guys. New product is rolling in like crazy. This last week, Vicky Bouton's Fernwood collection came in. So if you haven't checked it out, oh my gosh, it's stunning. I also have a mini book project kit coming with that. Still waiting on some of the product though. Then the other collection that came in this week, Maggie Holmes Market Square, which is, love it. All of you that are Maggie Holmes fans, you know I love, love, love Maggie Holmes. So Market Square. So what I thought would be fun, I'm actually going to use some Market Square today, but what I thought would be fun to do was our giveaway. Look at those clips. Our giveaway and some die cuts. I have lots of things. Our giveaway for this week will be a nice little product assortment from the new Market Square collection from Maggie Holmes. So to participate in that giveaway, what I will have you do is leave a comment on the video when it's over. And you can comment anytime between when the video is over and end of night, next Friday night, whatever it is. That reminds me of something. We won't be together next week. So you'll actually have a couple weeks to comment on that. Might as well talk about that now. Traveling and teaching. I was home this weekend, but traveling and teaching again the next 2 weekends. So we will not be together again until, let me look at my handy dandy notebook, November 13th. So just know, sorry guys, it's just when I start traveling, this is what happens. So we squeeze it in when we can. Anyhow, what I will do is I will ask you to leave a comment on one of our lists today, and one of our lists, as I mentioned before, things that I missed or things that I still miss, and you can decide what you want that to be. So you'll leave a comment when we're done. Tell me one of the things that you miss or still miss. One of the things that you miss or miss that you've started doing again. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. My gosh, that's a lot of talking. Well, the whole time here is talking, but it's really a lot of talking before we even dig in. So why don't we dig in? I'm gonna have one more sip of coffee, and I know, Diane, leaving you again. I am with Kimberly. Okay, good. Next weekend, yes, I will be teaching at a Christmas bash back in Southern California, back with my friend Lizzie Lou. So I know I will see some of you. If Denise is on, I know I'll see Denise Dufresne as well. I know, I'm so sorry I'm killing you. We'll get there. We will get there. We'll have one more time in December. I'll tell you about that guy. I will tell you about that soon. If I can get my words out. I'll tell you about, there's going to be one more time in December. That wasn't planned, but it just kind of, an opportunity turned up for Nick and I to go somewhere that I just couldn't turn down. So, anyway. Okay. So, let's have another sip and then we'll get going. A couple of you are talking about Crop and Create. Crop and Create, that's another thing I'm doing next weekend. Double booked next weekend, and that was on purpose. And both places I'm booked understand, and we all talked about it before I committed the second one. But one event is virtual, one is in person, so we're making it work. So I will see you guys at Crop and Create too. Okay, let's switch the camera and let's play, because there's been way too much talking of, well, like I said, I talk the whole time. There's going to be a lot of talking of me as we go, but right now there's just a lot of talking with me and can't see much, and we're not playing yet, so it's time to play. All right, so what I'm trying to decide, I don't know, we might not need lights today. Let's see. I'm going to flip the camera. So let's flip first of all. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you see my shirt? Here. Well, my shirt is, I don't know if I can make this work. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, it doesn't like that. Okay, it does actually. It says pumpkin spice. Huh. All right, I got a really weird thing on my screen. It didn't like that. So let's make sure I can still see you guys. Can you still see me? Can you still see me? Oh, I hate to start like touching things because it makes me nervous. You can. Okay, good. Whew. All right, look at that. I don't think we need lights today, which means I won't get so hot today. Okay, let me just move that out of the way a little bit. Oh yes, now that we have Colleen, I know if I missed it, I know you're telling me right now. Plug in. Now we should be good. We should be good to go. Move my little microphone there. Okay, you guys, it's fun. I can see somebody asked, maybe Karen asked what everyone is working on today. Karen, I do not have plans to come to Denver anytime soon. Which, another segue, you can always take a look at what I have scheduled and where I'm going and what kits are coming out, whether I'm teaching them in person or not, on my website. There's a link up at the top that says upcoming kits and classes. Thank you. Cindy likes my shirt. I think I got, I think I'm going to say Amazon last year. Okay, so let us get going. Our first list. Well, before we get into lists, we'll still be into lists, but I always like to start out showing our lists from the prior week. Now, this was 3 weeks ago, so we all maybe need a little review because preview, because I needed it too. Hi, Ariana. I always love it when you're here, sweetie. It's so fun. Ariana is our resident teenage lister that likes to hang out with us sometimes on Sundays or Saturdays. So love it. Okay. First list that we did was what I love about Halloween. This one was so fun. As we were working on it, this was totally different style than I normally do. And I had to get out of my little box, right? Sometimes we need to get out of our little box, our little comfort zone. And I did there. So normally, if you've been with me for a while, you know that my lists kind of all start to have the same pattern to it because that's my style. And when you have your style, you kind of always gravitate towards your style. So with this one, I really challenged myself to think outside of the box and think outside of the page, right? And so I kind of did this little swath right here of decorations, and that was fun. This one, I use primarily products from the A Little Scary collection. So I've linked to those in the description of the video down below if you're looking at that going, oh my gosh, I like that collection, that Halloween collection. All right, that was our first list. Second list. This one, again, actually, part of this list was definitely, well, kind of something that I do a lot, but the other part of it was something brand new. So in the past, we've done something similar to this where we do a little page in between, but this one was really different. So we used Bungalow Lane. That is one of Paige Evans's new collections. And Diane, I just read your comment. That's funny. Paige Evans's, and I know normally you don't do an S on an S with an apostrophe, but that's the easiest way to say it, Evans's. One of the collections that Paige Evans, how about that, recently designed. But I loved these leaves. These leaves, so fun. I love the colors. The collection is kind of fall, but then all other things kind of mixed in with it. So we just cut the page down and we cut the page. I know she does, Karen. I've taught with her there in Greeley, I think Greeley before, 2 years ago. Okay, so this guy, we just took a scissors and cut, so it would have been like this. Cut what this page would have been, just cut it down to make a little place where we could attach our leaves. So that one was a lot of fun. And I didn't quite finish. I didn't quite finish when I was going to say in class. I didn't quite finish when we were working. So I went back and added a little bit of ink and kind of did a little bit of outlining and just kind of finished it off a little bit. Okay, got you, Diane. You saw that. All right, our last list was one that I called Family Isms. So Mary like fairy, Mary just made kind of a good kind of segue. But this little thing you could do with a lot of different things. You could do the same idea with snowflakes. You could take the same idea if you have, multiples of flowers. You could do something like that. Any kind of little thing like that would be fun to do. All right. Last page or last list was Family Isms. So Family Isms Christmas tree. Oh, that would be totally fun. That would be a lot of fun. So Family Isms. And Family Isms I called things that our family says, right? And this one I had a lot of fun with. Different things that different people in our family say. We joked a lot about one of the things my husband Nick says, Elvis has left the building. And that's what an announcer used to say when Elvis was in concert to get people to leave. Because they still wanted him to sing after lots of encores, and they finally had to come on and say, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. So my husband, when he leaves work, calls and says Elvis has left the building. But different familyisms. So this one, I spent a little bit more time when we were done. I had, while we were working together, added the large little creatures, forest creatures. I don't know, creatures makes it sound bad. These cute little forest animals. How about that? So I had added the large ones and I went back and added small ones. I added some washi along the bottom, 3 different washis along the bottom. And then I took my little colored pencil. So you can see I took colored pencil and I just kind of highlighted with the colored pencil each of those things that I was listing or talking about. Critters. There we go, Belinda. Critters is much better. I think that's what I meant to say, critters instead of creatures. Yeah, that sounds weird. Creatures. Critters, yes. Although we are, near Halloween, so it could be creatures this week. Hi, Julie. All right, so now we're ready to start listing. We are, 25 minutes in. If you ever don't like, and that's okay if you don't like it, all the chit chat kind of that we do at the beginning, You can always fast forward. Now you can't fast forward while I'm live, but you can fast forward after the fact. So I don't know, sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 25 minutes, a little bit longer today because I haven't seen you guys in forever. And I just decided that it's going to bother me not having those lights on. So we'll go for the lights, and if I need to open a window in a minute, we can. Because the lights, the studio lights get really hot. And I am really menopausal. All right. Okay. Dashira. And Dashira, if I think I recognize your picture. But if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I can't wait to start listing, but yes, I need all the ideas. I don't know how to start. You know what? Email me. There is a video here on my YouTube channel that I did maybe about a year ago when we first started talking about listing in a traveler's notebook. So that may be a good one for you to jumpstart with. There is also linked in the description of the video down below. There are different PDFs that you guys can download. One is our list of lists from 2020. One is our list of lists from 2021 that take us through September. And then the other one is a playlist of flip throughs. So I have flip through videos of a bunch of the lists that we have been working on. I think I've just done 4 or 5. So those are also great resources too. Okay, so our first list is Halloween movies. So this will be the last Halloween list that I do before we move on to whatever's coming up next. So Halloween movies, let me take this out of here, put that off to the side. I had that, I was photographing, so I had that for a little flat lay. So Halloween movies, and I also need to pull this out. I think when we're next together, I've had a lot of questions lately about what do you do when this happens? When your pages start to come out. If you're in the Facebook group, I posted a link to a video that I did about this last year. But when your pages start to come out, and that's not uncommon, depending on how your inserts are bound, this one is staple bound, the more and more that you add, eventually your little pages just will pop out of the staples. So I go through a process when I'm done with the entire insert, if that's happened, of recovering and then stitching. So this is one, but don't mind this right here. I need to fix this. But so I recover and then stitch everything back together so that it all stays together. I need to do that here, but I won't do anything until I'm done because, you know, I'm not done yet. All right. When we start to get to the very end, the back of, hi Debbie, when we start to get to the end of an insert, we end up with a lot of pages over here, right? On the left, we have a lot of pages, and on the right, we don't have very many pages at all, which that's just normal, right? You get to the end of the book. When you're reading a book, all the stuff that's been read, and then just a few left. Sometimes can make it a little bit challenging as we are starting to work, especially if we want to do stamping on this side. So a lot of times what I will do, especially as we start to get to the end, is I will not make my list directly on the page. I will do it on cardstock and then add everything in. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Hi, Mercy from Puerto Rico. And yes, you're a number of hours ahead. 3 hours, right? I think. Okay, another sip. Hi, Debbie from West Point. Debbie's not far from me. I don't know, maybe half an hour, Debbie, you think? Okay, I feel like I need the coffee today. Yes, lots of Debbies. We always have lots of Debbies and lots of Karens. Okay, I mean Karens, the good Karens, not the bad Karens. I think the bad Karens stay away. No, you know what I mean when I say that, right? All right, so let's get some white cardstock because that is what I'm going to need for my list. And I am using products from Goosebumps. So Goosebumps is a collection from Pretty Little Studio. I have been using Pretty Little Studio a bit. I have some very fun things in the works with Pretty Little Studio. And I have lots of stuff that I ordered quite a while back that I haven't even put it on the website yet. Lots of fun Christmas stuff. So Pretty Little Studio. This is Goosebumps, linked in the description down below. Actually, my friend Ashley Horton designed this, I think a couple of years ago. So I'm going to use products from Goosebumps, and this is going to be a 2-page list. I already know that I want this to be one of the pages. So this is one of my pages. This will end up being the page that goes on the left that I actually add some photos to. On the right, though, I'm trying to decide, and I just pulled out some of the papers that I thought would work. There are, what I think, 12? 12? How many? 12? Oh, that's not the cover. Here's the cover. 16. There are 16 papers in, 16 8x8 papers in the collection. And I love that they do 8x8 papers because 6x8, 8x8 work really well for traveler's notebooks. All right, so this will be this side. Let's see. This guy. Yes, Pretty Little Studio Nancy, very unique. And not a lot of people know about them. So the owner, Melissa, is super nice. I'm kind of starting to get to know her. We've exchanged a number of emails and talked about kind of our backgrounds a little bit. So like I said, some really fun things planned that she and I are working on for some future things. Anyhow, so Halloween movies. Now, normally Halloween movies are kind of scary, right? Well, not all of them. I am not a huge fan of scary Halloween movies. So my Halloween movie list are kind of non-scaries, right? Non-scaries. The scariest one that I get is Poltergeist, which that one I just love. Carol Ann, stay away from the light. That's little Carol Ann, if you know that movie. Anyhow, what I did, I went to Google and I Googled each of these movies. And I think it was called Google Play or something, kept coming up. And that's where I found all of those little movie posters. So all I had to do was right click on each of those, save it to my camera roll, and then there we go, print it out using the Epson PictureMate PM400 and their creative print photo app. So this is a 5x7. This will be, this will actually go on this side of my list. All right, so it's going to go on the right side, this side, the right side. I know, right? Rocky Horror Picture Show. So some of these are not really Halloween movies, like Nightmare Before Christmas. That one I think kind of goes back and forth whether it's Halloween or Christmas. Little Shop of Horrors, not really. Ghostbusters, not really. The only one that's, well, the only two that are really truly Halloween movies, of course, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and then Hocus Pocus. The others, you know, they're just fun movies to watch around now. Okay, so that is going to be the left page. The right page. This one, I don't know, I'm really drawn to this one for a number of reasons. Number one, I love the different colors on here, right? Of course, the, you know, what you would expect to be Halloween colors, like the kind of yellowish color and the orange. But then you have the non-traditional ones, like the light blue, the navy, and then kind of that coral. So I think that could be kind of fun. Now, I did not recognize this. I didn't realize this until just now. I did not pick the movies based on the collection, but look at that. I think I have to use the paper on the right because look at how much blue is in these photos and how much blue is here, and then the orange and the yellow. So I think all of that will tie in really well. All right, so we need to get out our trimmer. I also need to get out my handy dandy notebook because that is my little Bible that I need to make sure I have with me. All right, see. So, I'm starting with, oh no, not that. I'm like, what am I doing? Maybe I'm a little bit rusty. Okay. Oh, golly. Marilee said, holy geez, daughter and I have been watching a horror flick every night, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So when I was a kid, high school, I loved the scary movies. Like, Friday the 13th. The one that I kind of love-hate relationship was with The Shining. That one still will freak me out. If I see a commercial about that, I'm like, oh my gosh, The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, yeah. Okay, so there we go. It is 8 inches tall. My inserts are 8.25 inches tall, so that's great. I'll have a little bit of white border all the way around. And then they are 5 inches wide. So generally I make this 4.75 inches wide. Let's pull this back out a sec. And this guy will go right on here. I generally like to make sure that I have my corner rounder, which I didn't pull out. So here it is. So this is kind of funny, you guys. I was telling the ladies that that attended my my November setup Traveler's Notebook class earlier this week. When we were last together back in back on October 9th, I used a lot of different Halloween product. I have no idea what I did with it. No freaking clue. No idea. I've looked everywhere. It was all in one of my little, you know, like one of my little pouches like this, or there were even 2 pouches full. No clue what happened. Sometimes when I go out of town to teach, it's a little bit of a whirlwind and I must have just shoved it somewhere. I'm going to go ahead and put this down now. What I need to make sure I do, normally I just kind of slap the adhesive on, but, and I will do that in parts here. Normally I just kind of go through and slap the adhesive on pretty quickly. What I need to make sure to do though, in this case, because this paper needs to roll a little bit into the center because there's so much going on over here, I come in with my tape runner, let's see, and I try to get as close to the edge as I can without going over, just like The Price is Right. You want to get as close to the bid, the price of the item, without going over. And so sometimes you bid $1. There we go. All right. So that is going to make sure that that edge stays pretty secure. I don't want it to lift, right? So let's put this down now. And then just press that down. All right, that will be good. So Stephen King, yes, Stephen King for sure. Hocus Pocus, Practical Magic are usually a double feature. Karen, no scary movies for me either. Lori, how tall did you say for the page? So depends on the inserts that you're using. I almost exclusively use standard wide inserts. So that would be, oh, it's on my head. That would be as I reach. This one is a standard wide. So standard is 8.25 inches tall. So I have my papers when I cut them to be 8 inches tall. And part of that is I use mostly 6x8 papers from 6x8 pads, but in this case, 8x8, so still 8. I leave a little bit of a border all the way around. So 8 inches tall because my insert is 8.25. Standard wide is 5 inches wide. So then I make the width of the paper 4 3/4 or 4.75. That way I have a little border all the way around. So 8 by 4.75. This is standard wide. This one is standard. And I sell both widths of inserts on my website. I just like to point out because I like the standard wide. It just gives you more room. But the standard, that's the difference. You can see it's about standard is about 4.33. So a little less than 3/4 of an inch. But when you open like this, then that's a whole 1.5 inches extra that you have in a standard wide. Hi, Kim. Okay. Okay, so here we go. There is the left side. The right side, as I mentioned, the right side was going to be this paper. This little guy right here. And I love like this distressing on it. Kind of the ink splatters and the ink that's been dragged on it. That paper comes like that. I didn't do that. But it's kind of fun that it has that little accent going. Now, the way that I want to trim this, either I could trim this way, so I have this in the corner, even though I'll be doing something right here, or I could trim this way. I think I want to trim this way, so I have this in the corner. So this needs to be 4 3/4, like so. And I will round the outside corners, like this. And that will end up going right there. We can go ahead and put that one in there now too. And I don't need to be as kind of meticulous with my adhesive on this side, just because it's going really on the other side where it's not all like that. Okay, there we go. All right, next up, I need my white cardstock because at least my list is going over here. And then my photo will go over here. So I need to put some cardstock there because I'll have a heck of a time trying to write my list. At least write it legibly that you'd be able to see on that side. White cardstock, I always use 8.5 by 11 because if we are thinking about our standard wide inserts, those are 8.25. So I only have to trim a little bit off to get the height, and then they are 5 inches wide. So 5 inches, 5 inches. That was very little waste that I have, just those 2 little pieces, right? So that's why I like to use 8.5 by 11. The 8.5 by 11 that I use, that's a Nina cardstock. It's linked in the description of the video. I just get that from Amazon. Alrighty, so now those are sized if I was basically going to put an entire piece of white cardstock right there, if that was going to be my page. But it's not, right? It's not going to be that. I want to have some of this fun background showing. So I'm thinking I would like this to be, let's start with 4 and see what that looks like. If I do 4 inches, does that still give me enough of the background? I think it does. I think we still get a lot of that color in there. We don't necessarily, you can't really see any of those little icons, but I'm okay with that because we'll use some of those in a sec. So if that was 4, that means I took 3/4 of an inch off. No, duh, Lael, I took 1 inch off. Wow. So here, I should be able to make this 7 1/4. And that would also be 1 inch off. Let's see how the math looks. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So that is going to be the base for our list. But now over on this side, let's get these little guys out of here. What's fun about this, and if you look at this collection, and really if you look at a lot of different collections that are themed, right? This is a Halloween theme. Those two really have nothing to do with Halloween. That one could be a fun one to use for 4th of July. That one could be fun to use, but look at all of these. All of the rest of these, this one is pretty Halloween themed, but all of the rest of these really don't have anything to do with Halloween at all. That could be fun for fall. I love that one. But when you are looking at different collections, don't like poo-poo your head at something. Poo-poo, right? You know what I mean? Don't like say, ooh, I would never use that. I don't like Halloween. When you see something like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of the 16 papers in that collection have nothing to do with Halloween. So we like to keep our minds open a little bit. That will get us much further than Halloween when we still keep that around to use. Now, the embellishments, on the other hand, definitely are more Halloween oriented. How about that? Real quick. Marilee asked, can you write on vellum? That would look cool to write on a somewhat clear paper with that great background, especially since it is Halloween themed. Depends, Marilee. Depends on the vellum. Also depends on what pen you would use. I would for sure, grab out your permanent, whether it's a Sharpie or another permanent marker when you do that. I would also probably wait. So I would write and I would be very careful. Probably test it first. Be very careful, set it aside, and maybe let it dry because it's a little bit of a different surface, right? The vellum's a different surface. Test it. Test it on a little piece before you commit and then, get too far down a path and go, oh my gosh, that did not work so well. All right, so this will be our list, and our list will go right here. I need to start out by doing what? I need to start out by outlining. Oh, you guys, I just saw my fingernails. I had the best intentions of painting my fingernails. I haven't painted my fingernails in forever. I needed to give them a break. Haven't painted them in forever. And I thought, oh, I will for sure do it this week. I had a little procedure yesterday morning. Oh, well, let's just say I had a colonoscopy yesterday morning and I'd never had one before. And the prep kicked my, you know what, I was going to say butt, but that's kind of weird in that situation. It kicked my hiney. It felt like I had the flu because you can't eat for like 36 hours and you have to drink all the stuff and take all the stuff and anyhow. So that just completely took me out of commission for about a day and a half. So I didn't get to paint those nails, but next time we're together, I will really go for it. All right, so I pulled out some new stamps that I recently brought in the store. These are called Terrific Textures. And I thought these would be fun to play with for a bunch of different things, but especially for this list. The reason why, look at the paper, right? Look at the paper, kind of has that texture on it. The ink splatters, ink splotches, whatever it is. I thought that'd be kind of fun, maybe to use this over on this side of the list. So we're going to try, we're going to play. I have not played with these stamps yet, so sometimes we play and we go, oh, that didn't quite turn out like how I wanted. I will tell you, based on experience, I have a number of different stamps that are like ink splotches. Like these are the Stamp Market. I also have one from Carrie Bradford. This is a very important public service announcement. There are 2 colors that I highly recommend that you do not use with little kind of splatters or splotches when you're stamping. One would be red, because then they kind of look like blood spatters. The other one is yellow. I actually did once try to do something with a stamp similar to this, one of Carrie's stamps with yellow ink. No, it just looks like urine. So if you have a stamp like that, ink splatters, that would also go for like sprays. Like the spray inks, I probably wouldn't spray ink red or yellow just because, you know, for the same reason. But some people make it look really cool. Looked horrible when I did it. Marilee, so I will never be able to even look at Gatorade again, ever even look at it because, oh, yeah. Good news is everything was good. I have to be careful about how I word things, right? Everything was good. I was going to say everything was clear. Oh gosh, sorry. Everything was good, which is, you know, the outcome that you want. So thank goodness. All right, so let's do some stamping. Let me get out my little stamp thing here and my other handy dandy notebook and then some wipes. So when I stamp, I always have to test first, right? For me, have to test first because I never really know what it's going to look like when I do it. And I might go, ooh, I hate that. So I always test stamp in my little notebook here. Okay. Just reading some of your comments, quite amusing. All right. So I want to use this one. So let's pull this guy out. But there's some really fun ones. Even the star, right? The star's fun. Ooh, this is fun. I have something coming that you might see that's familiar with that. So while I'm getting all of this ready, let's chat about some really fun things that are coming. I just approved final artwork for not 1, not 2, but 3 brand new stamp sets that are Lail by Mail branded. So very excited about that. I'm now waiting. So when you do stamps, at least the companies that I work with, you receive samples before they ever go into production, because you need to make sure, let's make sure that's okay. You need to make sure that everything looks good. So I think samples are on the way. So I can't wait. These little blocks I'm using, these are the Fiskars stamp blocks. These I carry on my website, but I love these just because there's 4 in the set and you have 4 different sizes, which is fun, you know, because you have 4 different sizes and then they're all kind of together there. Black. I know I want this to be black. I think, actually, now that I think, okay, we know we don't want to use fossilized amber. That will not work because it'll look like urine. We don't want urine. But maybe we could go with spiced marmalade. That could be kind of fun. Or even tumbled glass. So I pulled both of these out based on my swatches that I had made to see what I think I might want to use. I am going to try, I'm going to try both of these to see which one I like better, but then I will also try it in black. And I'm going to start out with my lighter colors first so I can clean it, and then I may go to the black. We'll see. So, I don't know. Maybe let's try this guy first. I'm not going to pull out my other thing. There's a lot of surface area to this stamp. So I always test first for a number of reasons. I always test first, like I said, to make sure I like it, make sure the color is okay, make sure that it is going to gel with what I want to do. So let's see. But the other reason I always stamp first is to prime the stamps. Ariana just asked a great question. Ariana said, what's the difference of the archival ink and the VersaFine ink? So the Distress Oxides and the VersaFine, they're both pigment inks. So there's a difference between pigment inks and dye inks. Oxides are pigment. The regular Distress inks are hang on, let me just grab one so you can see. The regular Distress inks are dye-based inks. So there's spiced marmalade in Distress and spiced marmalade in Distress Oxide. The way that you can tell the difference, just in you're looking in the package, all the Distress inks are black. All of the Distress Oxides are gray in their little tins or whatever you call those. I almost exclusively use Distress Oxides because that's what I like. I really like the good solid impression that they give. There's all kinds of properties to each of these inks in terms of how you can layer them or how you can blend them. Those things I don't know because that's not what I use the inks for. I primarily use the inks for stamping and then sometimes blending. But there is a link to an article in the very bottom of the description of the video. And it's an article from scrapbook.com. And they talk about the difference in the properties between the Distress Oxides and the Distress inks, so pigment versus a dye-based ink, and how you might use each one. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I would say that'd be a really good place to go. Just follow that link because I am not the expert on that. I just know what I like, and I like a really good solid impression. Sometimes you guys hear me say that this is the oxides are juicy. They have more of an opaque look to them as opposed to a little bit more, I won't say translucent because they're not really translucent, but generally your pigment inks will have more of an opaque look and more of a solid kind of impression when you're stamping, and that's what I like. They also, though, take a little bit longer to dry. Okay, so here we go. There is my little first guy, and that would go on here, and that would layer right on there. So that could be fun. Now, what I really wish that was over here. I could make it go up here, but it's just going to end up being over here. All right, so that could maybe work, right? Now, I'm just going to, oh, look at, it's already, most of the ink already came off. So I'm not quite going to get my cleaner out yet, or my baby wipe. I'm going to now try the orange just to see if I like the orange better. It's always nice to have options. The reason why I have well, I primarily have oxides, but in a couple of colors, I have both the Distress ink and the Distress Oxide. That was not on purpose. It's just that I, at one point, didn't know the difference and didn't know what I liked. So I probably would have bought, I think I started out buying some of the Distress inks and then sometimes didn't realize I already had the color. So, but I primarily, and that's just personal preference for me based on how I use the inks. And I think that's really important, knowing how you're going to use them. Okay, so that's, oh, golly, that's a fun one too. But I almost feel like, I don't know, it's probably going to be orange, right? I think it's going to be orange because I think the black will just be a little bit too much. So let's do that. Let's just decide on the orange. We can get this out of the way now. And this will end up going, and I know I could put it up here, but then I think that's just too much up here. So this is just going to go right here. What I want to do, I don't want to stamp directly on my work surface. The reason I don't want to do that is I might get some ink here, and I don't want the ink here. So that's usually when I pull out a scratch piece of paper. But is there, let me see, hang on. Oh yes, here we go. Scratch piece of paper. All right, so that's just kind of going to be my little mat here. Ink this up again. Let's see. Okay, Lynette is educating us. Lynette likes Distress Oxides as a pigment because while they do take a little bit longer to dry, they are actually a faster drying pigment style ink, more so than other pigment inks. Okay, good. It does totally make sense, Lynette. They offer some really cool reactions with water when you're doing mixed media. Yes, I know there's really cool things that you can do. My friend Vicky Booten does some amazing things with both inks, but with both the Distress Oxide and then the Distress. Ariana says she has a little bit of both and don't really see a difference. So you know what? It may be that if you're not using them for mixed media and not layering them on top of each other or trying to blend, that may be why you don't notice much of a difference. I don't do that either. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is maybe have this bleed off the edge a little bit, like that. Okay, and Kimberly, yeah, gray. Is that what I said? I don't know. I'm not sure where we were talking. Kimberly, next week for Crop and Create. Yes. It will be fun. I can't wait for that too. My class, it's a virtual event, Crop and Create. So there, that just gives it kind of a fun little, just a fun little accent, right? I'm gonna stamp off the excess here and then I will clean this guy up later. I don't want to take a ton of time while we're live to clean that up. So there we go. And that kind of textured stamps are fun. And I mentioned that I was using this one here because we kind of have that similar textury look, like especially when you see those, when you have that similar textury look. But there's just sometimes a nice background for whatever you're working on. So that will go right there. Now what's interesting, now I don't love it so much right there because look at it doesn't really, guess what we're going to do? Let me explain. The reason I'm going to go back to the blue, friends. This is why. The orange right there isn't bad, but they're just in this corner happens to be a lot of that coral and kind of reddish color. So I don't like the way that looks right there. It's just not enough of a contrast. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to turn that over and we'll just redo it in the light blue, because in the light blue, we know that there'll be enough contrast there. I'm not going to do black because my writing will be in black. Sometimes our lists take a little bit longer than others, especially when I'm playing with stamps, because we just play, right? Yeah, I know. So Debbie, I could flip it to the top, but guess what? I don't know. I don't know that I like that because, I could do that, right? I've got that and that, but maybe that's okay. Let's do this. Let's quickly also do the blue and then we can decide. If I just flip that over, we'll try the blue. Now this, I think I know what's going to happen here. I think I'm probably going to think I probably should have, this is going to be an example of probably blending because this is not, I think, what I want to see. Oh yeah. Okay, lesson learned. I needed to clean this. This is what happens. Pigment ink. Some of you probably saw this coming from a mile away. Pigment ink, especially when one is on top of each other and it hasn't dried. Look at what just happened to my color. Because the orange and the blue blended together. That's one of the cool properties of pigment, especially if you don't let them dry in between. Now I have a mint color that I don't want. So let's fix that. And a lot of what we do here, you guys, on Saturdays is just about learning. And when I say learning, it's me learning right along with you guys. Yes, that was a really pretty color. I probably couldn't make that again if I tried. Learning though, learning what happens when we try something like that. Putting an ink on top of another ink and not cleaning it off first. Then those two ink colors blend together. They make a really pretty color, but not a color that we intended. Yeah, that's really pretty. I like that, but not for what we're doing. All right, now what I don't know, I think that'll be okay. I can see a little bit of that orange in there. Yeah. Like I said, some of you probably saw that coming from a mile away and you're like, don't do it. All right, now let's just stamp again to make sure that we're good before we actually go in. We'll just do that one right there. Oh yeah, back to the original. We're good now. All right, let's get this out of the way. And do our light blue. And we need our scrap paper. And we'll go down here again. Okay. Yes, it totally is creativity at work. Absolutely. And sometimes you have happy accidents, right? I think Bob Ross, that's what I was for Halloween. even though Halloween hasn't happened yet. The retreat that I taught out a couple weekends ago was a Halloween retreat, and one night we dressed up and I was Bob Ross. So I think he calls it happy accidents, right? Sometimes when you're working and something happens, sometimes a happy accident happens, and that's where just being able to play, I think, is super important in anything that we do. So I will go ahead and clean this off now. Playing. Because if I hadn't pulled these inks out, that's a lot of times how we learn, right? If I hadn't pulled these inks out and decided I wanted to try the orange and then decide the blue and then go back to the blue and do it on top of the orange, learned what happens when you do that with pigments. Okay, so now there we go. There is the start. Golly, there's the start of our list. And then that is, it's not perfect, but it's better because it's not the exact blue match, but it'll work. Orange, orange, blue. I don't know. I may go back to the orange. All right. So this guy, though, is going to come over here. Now, I printed this out. It's a 5x7, but it is a little bit wide. So I'm going to trim off the white borders on either side of that photo. Kathy said, okay, hold on. Debbie, yes, I just use any kind of baby wipe, whether it's from the dollar store or, whatever. This is like some kind of makeup remover wipe, but really doesn't matter. Well, I should say, as far as I know, it doesn't matter. All right, I have to be careful with that. But as far as I know, it doesn't matter. All right, so there we go. And then I'll probably go ahead and take off that border on the top too, so it doesn't look funny. Alrighty, so then that will just tuck right in there. And there are some of my favorite movies. Before I decide where I want to tuck that, I might look at, I don't think that I'll be able to do any, I don't think I'll be able to do any die cuts around here just because there's a lot going on, right? Unless I like covered up, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I certainly don't want to copy that one up. That's an interesting movie. That is an interesting movie. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah, that will be way too top heavy. And I don't like the blue. So it's going to be the orange. We're back to the orange. Alrighty. So now let's do our list. Let's get to listing Halloween movies. So Halloween, I'm going to do small, and then movies, I'm going to do large. So let me just look. I think that says Happy Halloween. These are just some of the die cuts from the Goosebumps collection. I have two different packs out right now. There are also stickers. Just looking for, I may have to just cut that Halloween down, because it says Happy Halloween, but I kind of just need Halloween. And then movies, I will probably stamp. All right, so Halloween, let's just cut that guy down. So let's see what Lynette said. Lynette had a good idea. I like that idea. Okay, let me just do this really quick, and then let's talk about what Lynette's idea was. Lynette said, you could maybe cut one movie picture out on a corner and put it on the left side, and then a die cut on the right side in the space on the left. So like I could basically cut like that guy out and have maybe him go right there and then do a little die cut right there. I like it. I like that idea. I think that's a ton of fun. So this could go there, and then let's just do it. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna get a smaller trimmer out. I love it. Love it, love it when you guys make suggestions like that. And then sometimes I try them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm good. And other times I'm like, let's try it. And other times I'm like, ooh, yeah, tried it, didn't like it. And other times I'm like, ooh, yeah, tried it and love it. Okay, so when you are doing something like this and you are cutting something out, obviously I don't want to cut all the way across, right? So I just need to cut a little bit. Like right to there. Now I can't use that one. Let's get the third trimmer out. And I'm just doing these trimmers because they're smaller, easier to maneuver. So then I want to do the same thing here, except I need to do it this way or else I'll cut everything. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. All right, there's our little square out. Dink. That is going to be fun. Debbie said I would probably cut them all and then overlap them. All right, so let's see. This guy will go right here. Oh, that'll be fun. And then this, if we put these here, then this guy could go right there. Yeah, I think it's fun. There's a lot going on in this, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Actually, what I am going to do, I'm going to do part what Debbie said, part what Debbie suggested. I'm going to cut them out, but I don't think I'll overlap them. So let's cut there. And then I need to get this little white border off because I don't have the white border everywhere. There. So usually before we start, I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do, but a lot of times it changes along the way, doesn't it? Which is kind of fun when it does that. There's really no preconceived what it should look like, at least in my head when I start. Sometimes it turns out quite a bit different. And sometimes what I think I'm going to do ahead of time does not work at all. All right, let's see. This is, incidentally, sometimes you guys are like, oh my gosh, how do I get little teeny tiny photos? You don't have to have a little teeny tiny printer to do it, right? You could do this on a regular printer because mine originally was just printed out on a 5x7, right? And then you could just cut out all your little photos from there. The Epson Creative Print app that I use has a whole bunch of pre-configured little templates. So that's all I did was pick one of the little pre-configured templates that had 9 verticals. Melissa, who thinks there's a thing I love about stamp? Actually, in the 3 that I talked about, there isn't one. There's a 4th one that we are in the middle of. And so there will actually, now you know, there will actually be 4. Now I can't see the bottom of that. So let's see, that is 2 and 2 and 1/16. So right there, I mean 1/8. Oh, is that right? Hang on. Yeah. Try to get that about the same size. We won't really notice, but yeah. Okay. Oh, one more. There's also, okay, you guys, this one too. Guess what? Guess what is also coming? Custom. Right now, 6 designs. Just approved those yesterday as well. 6 custom designs. Washi tape. It'll be Lail by Mail washi tape. Don't worry, it won't say Lail by Mail on it. But yes, washi tape. And I bet you guys can guess what one of them is. Because I just have to. How can I not? All right, there we go. There are our little cards, our little pictures. Okay. Washi tape. You guys know me and my washi tape. I love it, love it, love it. So have to do it. Sometimes there's washi tape that I can't find. And so when you can make it, when you can have it made, then that's just the bonus, right? All right, so now these will just, oh yeah, we don't want that one there. I'm trying to think in my head what was here. Oh yes, I like this much better this way. I like it much better looking like this because then everything's just, it seems like there's, I don't know, it just seems like it's more open, right? It's definitely more open. I don't think Edward Scissorhands wasn't Ed Burton. Sorry, Edward Scissorhands was not Tim Burton, correct? I think Edward Scissorhands was somebody else, but it kind of looks like the same little fontish. Okay, there we go. Oh yes, Debbie and Lynette, you guys, such good suggestions. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now Lynette said, what if you map that? Well, I could. I think I'm going to leave it. The reason I think I'm going to leave it, I don't have any black cardstock handy, I don't believe. So we'll just leave it. All right. So this will go there. Those things want to stick to my little table for some reason. Ooh, I made those kind of high. All right, now for this guy, I need to do my glue pen. Epson app. Lori, it is called the Epson Creative Print. It only works with the Epson PictureMate. Well, I shouldn't say that. I only use it with the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. You can probably use that with any Epson. I don't know. But you can't use it with other printers. It prints to the printer. But there are other apps out there, a lot of free ones that you can use. Pick Stitch Go, I think, is one. I don't know. You guys usually pipe in and say what some of the other ones are. Gosh, isn't that weird? Look how much blue is in all of those photos. Lots of blue going on there. Oh, good. Yes, you have the printer. Oh, Colleen. Okay, awesome. It was a Tim Burton. So the only reason that I maybe guessed that was because look at the little font that's used here. I think that Tim Burton font is the same as Edward Scissorhands font. Two totally different movies though, right? Edward Scissorhands, that's a sad, I think if I remember, no, that's Gilbert Grape. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? That was a sad one. But I think Edward Scissorhands was sad too a little bit, wasn't it? Oh no, it's been years since I've watched that movie. Okay. All at nighttime. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Sometimes I'm really blonde, aren't I? Sometimes I'm really blonde. Alrighty. Poltergeist. I just couldn't put The Shining on here. I mean, I shouldn't say I like that movie. I think that movie's just fascinating, but it's freaky scary. That's one of those that's just freaky scary because it almost is like real, right? Where really that could happen, where you could have somebody that just kind of snaps. All work and no play. Sometimes we feel like we could snap all work and no play, right? Okay, but we're playing today, so that's good. All right, there we go. Okay, now what I can do is maybe I can go in a little bit later and maybe put something in there. Okay, here we go. And then this guy's going to go right here. I love that idea. That was so fun, Lynette. Ariana, will I have more virtual crop and create? So that is actually an event that is put on by magazine, Scrapbook, and Cards Today. They have more for sure. I right now am not scheduled to teach. They just announced their spring ones. And I'm not scheduled to teach at those. I'm scheduled to do something else with them next year. A couple things, but not one of those. But if you just go to their website, scrapbookcardstoday.com, I think, or Google it, then you will. You can see what they do. They're fun. The unboxing for that event was just Thursday. That was a lot of fun. Okay. Pick Stitch and Pick Frame. There we go. Thank you, Melissa. And those are apps that you can use on your phone. And I think free. I'm not sure. All right. Golly, we're taking forever on this one, aren't we? So then, movies. Gosh, there's a lot of color on this one. Halloween, and then we need movies. So we are going to maybe to speed things on a little bit, I will use some alphabet stickers instead of stamps because stamps will take us a little bit longer. You know, I don't think I have seen, I'm just looking at the different Simple Stories Color Vibe sticker books. Yeah, navy. What do you think the chances are that navy will match? Probably not, but we'll see. Match or coordinate, I should say. So the sticker books, the Simple Stories Color Vibe sticker books, every color has 2 sheets. So I don't know, that could work, but I mean, that would certainly work, but I don't know, that is definitely not very Halloween. You know what? Let's just do it. Why not? Why not? So every color has 2 sheets. You have a larger alpha and then smaller alpha and then the little like square number ones or square like font type, whatever. All right, we need our ruler and our tweezers. Debbie. Right, Debbie said if you were into slasher movies, using that stamp with red ink could be cool. Totally. So that would totally remind me, slasher movies, or if you were Dexter, right? The movie Dexter. Huh. The movie Dexter, where he's a serial killer, but he is a blood spatter analyst for the police force, which is kind of interesting. I did hear, I think that was a while ago, but I think that they are doing more seasons now. I think I just heard that recently. So this is turning into kind of a non-Halloween traditional looking. Yes, CSI, that would be fun too. The new bills. What is the new bills? What I'm doing here with my ruler, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I always do this. I'm using my ruler here for 2 purposes. This is a 6-inch steel ruler that I sell on my website. I line up my letters. So first of all, that's what's letting me, that blood, the new blood. I don't know what new blood is. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Dexter New Blood is coming out on November 7th. Thank you. So I'm using this little horizontal line here on my ruler to line my letters up. If you struggle sometimes with lining your letters up straight, then lining them up like this on a ruler is very helpful. The next thing that I will show you is if you struggle with getting your titles, in this case, centered, then this will also help you. If you struggle with spelling, I know sometimes we do, and you put all your stickers down and then realize you misspelled, this will also help you because you can double and triple check because your entire word will be here as opposed to placing each sticker individually on your paper. And if you need to pick one of them up and move them because you spelled movies with an EI instead of an IE, you forgot the I before E rule, then it's a much easier to pick it up off the ruler than it is to pick it up off the paper. All right, so help us line it up. But next up, I can now take my ruler and just slide it side to side. What do I want it down here? Do I want it here? Do I want it over here? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? I want it centered, but let's first figure out where Halloween. That can go there. So movies, that can go there. And I think that looks like it's pretty centered, right? Now, I don't have to now pull each of those stickers off and place them individually. I just press them all down. Okay, my eye needs to move just a tad. It wasn't quite straight. Press them all down and then gently, gently, gently pull up while still holding those down. Because sometimes, depending on the sticker, if the sticker is paper, like the Simple Stories are paper stickers as opposed to cardstock, sometimes they will want to move a little bit. The cardstock ones sometimes want to pop a little bit. So you just be gentle. And that I'm completely going to replace because it was skinny. All right, Halloween movies. Now we'll take this guy. And this is a great situation and where my little tweezers work, because then if I try to pick that up and it already has the glue on it, because it's a little bit smaller, it makes it a little bit harder to do. Now, you know what I really wish I had? I really wish I had my little, I have to add some more Halloween-y things to this. Once I figure out what in the world I did with my little container that has all the Halloween stuff in it, because it might need some pumpkins or bats or things like that that aren't in these. Somebody said something about coffee, brown for something coffee themed. Lynette, you could also use that. You know how that kind of looks like a little coffee ring, right? This is kind of fun little frame. Anyhow, this, similar to that, I'll have something kind of like that you will see in one of the stamp sets. Okay, now to list my Halloween movies. Wow, this turned out so different. So different than I thought it would. Where's this little kitty? I'd like this kitty to play in somewhere maybe, but I don't know. The kitty can't quite work now because the kitty was going to go right there, but it kind of can't go right there. So no kitty. Yeah, I'm going to have to bring in, I'll have to finish decorating this once I find my, because all of these guys are a little bit too big. All of my die cuts here. So once I find my, all of my other, once I find all of my other smaller, well, once I find my Halloween things, then I will be able to do that. So Halloween movies. The ones I can watch, implying that I hate scary movies. Now, what did I do with my ruler? I didn't put it away. Oh, here it is. All right, so let's, down here, I need to just make a little separator, a little tiny separator, like that. All right, so, just thinking, well, this is what I'm gonna do. 1, Hocus Pocus. 2, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Even though I know I have all these on the other side, that's okay. Because it needs to be a list, right? This is dangerous because I did not measure. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. We know the rest of the movies, so I'm going to stop on this list now. I can go ahead and adhere this, and I will go ahead and adhere that. And then I will finish it up. So when we are together, well, I won't finish it up today, but when we are together again in 2 weeks, well, I guess that's more like 3 weeks, huh? The 13th? No, that's 2 weeks. No, the 20th. 20th is when we'll be together again, or around that time, whenever that Saturday is. I will have finished this up by then, and we'll take a look at it then. I guarantee you it will look, well, it won't look, it'll look different. I mean, I'll keep all of this there, but it will look different because I'll add some more fun things. Okay, Ariana, try this. Try copying the link and pasting it. Sometimes for some people, and we don't know why, we've tested it a whole bunch. When I say we, Nick and I have tested it a whole bunch, and everything we try works for us. So try copying it and pasting it. Let's see, hang on. Melissa said, when are the 3 stamp sets releasing? When I get them. So I'm going to say probably in December, maybe. I'm not sure. Working with a new stamp company, so we'll see how long their production time takes. Trying out somebody new, so we'll see. Lovely Plan said, how do you store all your die cuts? Let's talk about that. A couple different ways, and then we'll move on to the next one. So when I'm first working with a brand new collection, hello, Rena 1970 from Montana. Hi. So when I'm first working with a brand new collection, I store everything from the collection. These aren't from the collection. I'm just going to use them for my next list. In a little pouch like this. And these little pouches I get from Amazon. I have linked in the description of the video. Once I kind of work my way through a collection, I start separating things out. So all of this washi will not stay together. The stickers won't stay with the collection. The die cuts won't stay with the collection. So depending on what it is, I do one of 2 things. Hang on, I'm just looking behind me. Okay. Well, here's an example. No, not that one. Oh, here, well, this will work. So this guy, I use these little iris cases. These are 5x7 iris cases. Okay, Ariana, I'll go look and see. I will look and see. I know it worked at some point, so I will check and see maybe what's going on. And if you email me, remind me, then I'll send it to you. So these are little 5x7 iris cases. These are linked in the description of the video. All the stuff that I use for storage is linked in the description as well, because it's not uncommon that we segue a little bit when we start talking about different products. So This one, then I just label, like this is a bunch of different die cuts from the stamp market. So I would either put them like that if I knew, and this is just how my mind thinks. If I'm looking for a die cut and I know that the stamp market makes it, that's what I would be looking for. So I would go to this guy and look what I was looking for, or find what I was looking for. Then something like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Hang on, I'm just looking for another way to illustrate this. I have a lot of these. Okay, something like this. Flowers. Flowers. I sometimes am looking for flowers. So I will have a container that maybe has all flowers in it, or all stars, or all leaves. It just kind of depends on how I do things. If I have a lot of flowers, then I might end up having one big packet like this that just has all flowers in it. So that's kind of a real quick rundown on how I store my die cuts. And that works for me. Yes, stars, hearts. This is a funny one. Where's the... There's a stars one, right? The hearts one is like busting at the seams. It is so full. And now I don't know what I do with it, but yes. Oh, I gotta take off my little duster shirt thing. It's too hot. All right. Okay, let's get these out of the way and let's move on to our next list. Our next list is also going to be a 2-pager. Our next list is things I missed, okay? Mine is going to be things I missed about teaching in person. And when I say missed, past tense, it's because this past weekend, actually the last 2 weekends I taught in person. 2 weekends ago, I was in San Diego, and then last weekend I was at an event in Minneapolis. In Wisconsin, I flew through Minneapolis. An event in Wisconsin called She Loves Color. Oh, Lynette, it is not exactly like this, but this will be similar. I also kind of link to it, at least in the description of the video. One of these guys. So these are trays that are kind of designed for refrigerators. The one that I have is actually a double with a little space in between it. I can't get it out because I can't easily get it out of my Ikea shelving unit behind me, but these just sit in just like that. So those are linked in the description. And if you have more questions about that, you can just reach out and email me. All right, so let's get all of that put away. Incidentally, this is where I'm grabbing from, and this is why you just saw those traveler's notebooks right here. On my little shelving unit, my rolling storage cart, my traveler's notebooks and the inserts also fit right here. So that's why I pulled them all out of there. So that's kind of handy. I usually put the most current ones that I'm using right here because I can pull from them as I'm teaching if I need to. Okay, let me get those put back. And you know what, you guys, I'm gonna open the window. I'm very warm right now, so bear with me. Okay, let's hope that's a little better. All right, second list is what I missed about, right? Things I missed about. Lynette says, I have a special bag for camera-themed ephemera since I love using it so much. Exactly, right? And that's just how my brain thinks. Some people think about things by manufacturer. So they may be grouping or organizing things by manufacturer. Some people group them by theme. So all of your Halloween things would be together. And then maybe you have stars in there. Maybe you like to group by 4th of July too, if you're in the US. So maybe you have some stars split between both of those things. I think ultimately it just depends on how your brain thinks, right? Because everybody organizes differently. And this could go for makeup or pantry or how you organize your closet or anything like that. It's just really how your brain thinks. So think about how your brain thinks and then organize accordingly because I think that will be helpful. Look, I forgot about these. I'll be able to use a bunch of these. in my list. These are little word strips that are part of that Goosebumps collection. Okay, let me get some of these things cleaned up because it'll just be in all of our best interest because it's getting a little crowded in here. So things I missed about teaching, things I missed about whatever, fill in the blank. I have printed ahead of time some photos. This is going to be another list with photos, as opposed to this list was someone else's, not really photos, right? Movie posters. This one, these are my photos. So this is a photo that I took at the event. And then these, well, two of these I took. These two I didn't take because I'm in them. So these will go over here as part of my list, and this will go over here as part of my list. All right, so what I thought, and we've never really done this, so we're gonna try something. This morning, I was thinking about washi, and I was thinking about the Bungalow Lane washi. So that's what we're using. I'm using Bungalow Lane for this list. And last week when we were together, I did this. We were looking at the Bungalow Lane collection, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, the washi is so fun. So I just kind of put the different washi down here so we could see it. Sometimes when you see washi in a package, or when you even see washi on a roll, you're like, eh. But if you see it all laid out, then you're like, oh my gosh, that's so fun. We had done that also with the Peaceful Heart washi. But so this kind of got me to thinking, what if we had our background, instead of using pattern paper, what if we had our background be just strips of washi and we did our list on top of that? So that's my idea there. That is what I am thinking. So another 2-page list. I think actually what we should do first is let's trim those photos down. So I will use pattern paper on one side, and then I will use washi on the other. So this is just another 5x7. But with this, I just picked the template that would let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 8 photos. And then I didn't print anything over here. That's why I'm cutting it off. Because I usually do this on the fly, like I did this morning. If I was thinking more in advance, I wouldn't have to waste this paper because I could find 4 other photos to put here. I just, didn't know what I'd do there. So there we go. Then this is a 4x6. So when we talk about printing smaller photos, 4x6, I just picked the template that had room for 2 3x4s, and I just put one over there and then nothing on the other side. Again, normally I would never put nothing on the other side. It's just in the mornings when I'm getting ready. It's usually yeah. I woke up at 5:30 this morning. I wake up early. So I woke up at 5:30 this morning. Ooh, finished a good book called The Plot. Ooh, that's very good. Finished the book, The Plot, and then got in the shower. Had plenty of time. It doesn't matter how much time I have. How much do I give myself? Saturday mornings, I'm always running around like a chicken with my head cut off. All right, so I think we're going to do this. We will have this up here. We'll have this. I don't know. This might go over here this time. We'll see. All right, so I think what I will do, I'm going to start my washi, and then I'm going to do one of 2 things. So we'll see what happens here when I start my washi. Those are all the rolls, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 rolls. That's Bungalow Lane. So I think I need to start with this one. This one is really fun because it is a scallop. I mean, it is actually a scallop. It's not like translucent below. Actually, maybe this should go on the bottom. Yeah, I like it better on the bottom. There's construction happening in our neighborhood, so you guys may be able to hear that. All right, so there we go. I wonder where that box is. So the box of washi, usually I try to keep that around, the box that it came in, because I don't know where it is. On the back side, they lay out all the washi. And so sometimes then you can see how they laid it out because then everything goes together. Maybe it was laid out like this. So let's do this guy next. This is a good way if you have a lot of washi. You guys know I do. I love washi. If you have a lot of washi, this is a great way to use it, right? Great way to use it. So this will go next. And everything doesn't necessarily need to line up, right? Some can be whiter than others. Ah! All right. I hate it when that happens. I went too fast, so you'll never know. We'll just repair that right there. And then something will go over that, so I'm not too worried. We won't really see that. Something will go right over it, okay? Then, let's see, what should we have next? We'll probably need to use a bunch of these. Maybe the green one. Maybe green next. Yeah, Michelle, I will try it. I will try it. We know it worked at one time. It could be that that scrapbook.com moved the article on their website. So if they moved the article, then it won't be in the same place. So I will go back and double check that for sure. There we go. Now what about this one? Oh no, let's do this one next, this big chunky one. So this is navy and it has copper, like copper greenery, whoopsie, don't want that, copper greenery on it. Oh, I know, I think what Debbie's saying. Debbie, you're saying extend washi to right side and then tear it different lengths. Kind of you mean, I think, like this, right? Like how over here it's all the way on the edge and then tear it different lengths. But too late. Too late. Already started. I don't know. Sometimes you try different things and you're like, okay, been there, done that. And then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I like how that turned out. All right, what haven't we used? This guy can go next, actually. Maybe we'll use this little teeny. This little teeny that says happy, but I need to turn that around, rotate it the correct way. Happy, happy, happy. That's a fun one. And sometimes it's fun when they're thin, right? To have a thin washi. We also have talked about before that if you need thin washi and the washi that you want to use, like maybe this one is too wide, you just trim it in your trimmer. Okay, we have one. We did that one. We have another thin blue. I guess the thin blue will go next, and then maybe we'll start all over again. Either way, whether you are doing this on one of your pages or whether you are doing this, just you're swatching your washi. And when I say swatching your washi, you could basically just take one of your Traveler's Notebook inserts or a composition notebook or something and do little strips of all your washi, because then you know what you have. If you don't know what you have, then a lot of times you don't use it, right? Because you don't see it. You don't know if you have lots of washi. And sometimes you've just had some for a long time and it ends up in the bottom of a drawer or ends up, stashed at the bottom of, oh, I get it. Over to this side. I get it. Okay, I know I'm going to butcher it again, Dachira, so I apologize if I do. Just know I feel your pain I have a name that's unusual too. She said, I love your ideas with playing cards. Yes, I've done a couple of different things where I've talked about washi and playing cards. There's actually a blog post within the last couple of weeks that I did talking about how you can swatch your washi using playing cards, but also get a lot of washi in a really small space if you want to use your washi on the go, like if you want to travel with it or take it to a friend's house and work or go to a crop or something like that. So you'll find that on my blog at Lail by Mail with some photos. I was headed out to retreat like I talked about, and I wanted to work on some things there, and I took 75 rolls of washi with me that I could fit in my back pocket. And my back pocket was not huge. Regular pair of jeans. So if you want to know more about that, then go check out that blog article. Okay. We're almost done. At least almost done with this part. Oh, Terry, that sounds fun. Master bathroom model. We just did our downstairs bathroom where the guest room is and where the workout room will be and office and all of that. So that was a lot of fun to do. Even though we have only been in our house 3 years and we built it, Well, we didn't build it, let's be honest. We had it built, but yes, good luck. Now that our boys are out and we're empty nesters, it just needed some work because, you know, sometimes boys, and that's really all we need to say on that one, right? That's really all we need to say. If you have boys in your life, then you know exactly what I mean. It just needed, yeah, some updating. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. There's our last one. All right, so lots of color here. That kind of helps with the lots of color here. And it was also, she loves color. So this will go here. Oh gosh, okay. So I know what I'm going to do. I said this is either going to happen one of two ways. Yeah, exactly, Debbie. When you put boys and you put bathrooms together, yes, very interesting. So in my head, I was thinking, well, this photo will either adhere right here, or it will need to go in white cardstock. And I already know it has to go in white cardstock because that's just way too much color going on for me. Too much color, too much pattern, which I had a feeling was going to happen. So now we'll just pull out some more of our white cardstock, and this little guy, I think this could be pretty narrow. Let's see. Let's see what it will be. Yes, the Washi Colors. You guys, even if you're not taking your washi with you on the go, or you're not swatching washi, or you're swatching washi, I recommend with some of your washi, do that because it looks so different, right? It looks so different. Even when it's like this, like that green, because you're getting some of the pattern that's underneath it. It just looks kind of blah. But then when you see it like that, it looks so much better. And this guy, if you didn't unroll that, you probably would never even realize that it's scalloped. So do yourself a favor, get your washi out and at least start doing that. Because you don't have to use a ton, right? You could just use even a little strip just to be able to even see it. All right, that is not wide enough. Let's see, that was 4, so let's go to 4.5 and see what we get. I have to be mindful of how wide that is. So, all right, maybe we'll do it that way. Okay, that part of it will work. It's funny, we very much get in our comfort zones. This one is definitely outside of my comfort zone, as the other one was. But sometimes we get outside of our comfort zone and we're like, oh, that new zone isn't so bad. And other times we get outside of our comfort zone and we go, yeah, I kind of like my comfort zone. So that will remain to be seen, heard, remain, I don't know, jurors out, I guess is another way to say that. Okay, so that will go there. Now, this is where the outlining comes into play, right? Because that just kind of gets lost on there. It gets a little bit lost. So I need to take out my Sharpie and we'll just do our little outlining. And that will help it stand out a little bit. This was really cool, this backdrop at this event. It was sponsored by Persnickety Prints. And you guys have heard me talk about Persnickety Prints a number of times. Shari Pack is the owner of Persnickety Prints. So this is a Utah-based company, and she is awesome. She's very talented. If you are ever looking for a place to have your photos printed, and they do online, Persnickety Prints is awesome. But what they did, they also print in a dark room, and they're not expensive, I promise you. So they print in a dark room. So with the actual chemicals and things. What she talks about that's really cool is if you don't want to print your own photos, their photos, you can actually like dunk in a cup of water and nothing will happen to it because they've actually been developed. So I do most of my printing at home just because I have to print on the fly like this morning. But actually, Shari and I talked about something really cool that she may do that you guys might find very interesting in the near future. Anyhow, this backdrop, these are all 4x4 photos that were printed on Persnickety Prints. So this was a huge backdrop that you could stand in front of. There were props and things like that, but it was kind of cool. All right, so this will go there. This one's got a lot of color. You guys know, well, I think, you may not know, but I usually gravitate towards a lot of white. Like that one, a lot of white, right? Like this one, lots of white. So a comfort zone again, right? Comfort zone, outside of my comfort zone a little bit. All right, that will go there like that. Now you're thinking, okay, well, what about this space right here? Don't worry. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling right here. So there'll be another little block. What I need to do though, I need to come back in and I could tell it was already lifting a little bit. So I need to come directly to the edge. And what I might find that I have to do, I may need to come back with a heavier duty, like double-sided tear tape, like Score Pal or Swooping or whatever, and adhere, because the washi is a little bit of a slick surface. So we'll try this, and then later if I need to fix that, I will. Okay. Deshira said, I'm not good with making straight lines. I saw a cutter with deep lines with the bone thing or the laser light. I want to get the laser. I actually, I have more trimmers, friends, because when it's your business, that sometimes you need trimmers for different things. I have a trimmer that sometimes when specialty paper is getting cut for a kit, I think it's an X-Acto brand maybe. Anyway, it's a larger trimmer, but it has a laser, and the laser, yeah. If you struggle with trimmers, this for me is purely, well, most of the time it's portable. Most of the time if I'm traveling and I need to take some kind of trimmer with me, I take this one just because it's easy to access. I can't really take my big green one. In cases like this when I'm pulling it out, just because it's smaller and it's easier to get in and out. These are not my favorite. Anytime you have a little blade like this, not my favorite, because getting things straight, it's a little bit harder to do. So sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's the printer. Yes, really quick. Karen said, Persnickety prints 12 by 12 photos. And some of you are like, 12 by 12, why would I want a 12 by 12? Others of you think, oh my gosh, 12 by 12 scrapbooking. I might want a 12 by 12 photo in my scrapbook, or I might want to do a digital scrapbook page and print it out 12 by 12, because 12 by 12 is kind of the de facto standard size for scrapbook layouts. Some people do 8.5 by 11, but 12 by 12 is pretty much, I'd say 98% of the people. Persnickety prints, and I'm not doing any kind of advertising for Persnickety prints, I'm just telling you what I like about them. $1.99 for their 12 by 12 photos. So that is an amazing price. And I think Shari just said, she was the keynote speaker at this event. She was saying that that price has been that price for a long time, and it has not gone up, and she's not planning on increasing it. So that's kind of nice too, because she loves it. All right, so now this is going to be a little journaling block here. So let's get our little pencil, because we don't need it to be that long. I think we'll just maybe stop that right about there. At Project Life too, if you're doing pocket pages, in fact, you could even do a 12 by 12 and just design it digitally with like the little pocket page sections, and then print it out that way. Okay, that will go right there. Okay, here's my little journaling block. And I have to outline that because it'd be really weird just to have a white piece of paper there. All right, so now let's pull out some different things before we get too much further here. If we know this is going to be here, I feel like I need some more color on this side. So I think we need a background. So this is the Bungalow Lane 6x8 pad. Last list we used 8x8. This is 6x8, so obviously different size. And I'm just going to go through and kind of compare next to this to see what I come up with that I may want to use. 6x8 pads, or even 8x8, because not Pretty Little Things does not Pretty Little Things. Sorry, that's a show. Pretty Little Studio does not do 6x8. They do 8x8. Still works. But I primarily use, I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. Sometimes it doesn't work very well. But I primarily use 6x8 pads, and that's pretty much what I sell on my website, with just one or two exceptions, because that's kind of fun. because I use Traveler's Notebooks. So the pattern is scaled for us, right? The pattern is scaled down. What I mean by that is if I had this piece of paper in 12 by 12, it would not look exactly like this. It would be scaled for a larger size. So scaling on a 6 by 8, if we're using a smaller piece, is nice because you get, you know, more of the pattern in your piece. Okay, then I had already cut up a bunch of these. Oh, no. I don't know. I'm kind of drawn to some of those quilty type looking papers, and the rest of these won't work because I used them. I already cut them down for our list, one of our lists last week. All right, so this is our short list of papers. I don't know, this could maybe work, and then I'll have to do a little. All right, I'm gonna try something. Again, I am just, sometimes we're totally trying. What I'm going to try here, if I know, this is kind of wide, right? This is going to go over here. If I then cut another piece of cardstock to go right here, that's a really skinny list, right? So that may not work. All right, I'm gonna show you guys something. We're gonna make a border. I'm gonna try a border. We've never done this. Just type the list. I know. But this is, we're gonna learn something here maybe. We are going to make a border. We're going to make a mitered border, a mitered corner border. So if we're going to do that, I'm going to use this paper. So this is what we're going to do. Basically, I'm going to have a border, a thin border that'll go all the way around. Actually, hang on. If I do that, this will have to go pretty far over here. Let's just try it. Okay, let's try it. I could do this with washi, also as an option. But let's do this. I want my border to be half of an inch wide, all the way around. So what I need to do, I need to first cut my 2 vertical pieces. I need to do that before I do my horizontal ones, or my verticals, I won't have enough paper left. It won't be tall enough. So 1/2 inch would be right here. So I need 2 tall 1/2 inch strips. There's one, and here's another one. And then I need 2 horizontals. So that, oh, I don't need to do that. Also need to be 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. All right, we'll see how this works. We'll see if we like it. So basically, kind of going to be like this. All right. So I'll have a border like that. This is also a good idea if you don't want to use, sometimes we use a whole piece like this. Look at this one. We used a whole piece and really you only see a border. So we could have potentially done the same thing here. Okay, so now in order to do this, there's 2 ways I can do this. Actually, let's measure first because I don't want that to be okay, those are okay. My length is okay, but my width here is way off. So let me try a 1/2 inch. Let's chop a 1/2 inch off of our sides. This, for those of you that scrapbook, this is a great way if you are doing a 2-page spread. This is a great way to use pattern on your second page without having to waste a whole piece of paper. All right, so you could do these corners. So there's 2 ways we can do this. We can just do corners that overlap like that on top of each other, or we can do mitered corners. There's a really easy way to do a mitered corner. When I say a mitered corner, think about like a baseboard in a house. You have a corner in the house, right? And they don't, your baseboards in the house don't overlap like that. They come together at an angle. And if you're having to use a miter saw, sometimes it's really hard to get that angle right, but there's a really easy way to get that angle right when you are doing it with paper. So I will show you how you do that. All right, so first I am going to take the back side of one, and I'm going to just put a little bit on there, and I'm going to do that with it. All right. Then I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to do this with it. Oh no, duh, sorry. I can do that with it right now. Then I will take this guy and put this here, here. And now, so far you guys are like, Lil, this is what you just said the first way. It's not, but you'll see. So this will go right here and right there. All right, so there we go. There is our border. And I could leave it like that if I wanted, right? I could just leave it like that if I wanted, and it could go right there. But that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is I'm going to come in with my little scissors, and I'm going to cut corner to corner. So when I cut corner to corner like that, this little piece is extra, right? That we just put on there. I've got a little bit of adhesive on there. I need to move off. And then on the back side, there's also that little extra piece. But look at, when we do that, we have our perfectly mitered corner that matches up to where it needs to match up. So it's just kind of a neater, cleaner look. So I'm going to keep doing that. It's okay if this comes undone for now. Just, you want to keep everything together when you eventually adhere. So somebody said I saw that you could do this same thing with washi tape. You absolutely could. You could miter corners with washi tape as well. All right, so that little piece is extra. I just kind of want to keep these kind of where they need to be because I don't want to get them out of order. Because then if I did, then the corners might not miter. All right, now I just saw part of a comment that I need to read in a second. It's funny. The comment starts out with, I have to be honest. And I saw something the other day. I haven't read the rest of the comment yet. I saw something the other day, and somebody said, if you have, don't, hold on, Dashira, don't get offended. I'm not poking fun of you at all because I haven't read the rest of the comment. But it said, when somebody says I have to be honest, usually it's like, I have to be honest, I really don't like that. Or I have to be honest, that outfit is horrible. Or I have to be honest, but you know, usually that's what comes after that. So I haven't read the rest of the comment yet. But that I have to be honest caught my eye. So I'm like, ooh, what did that say? I have to be honest, I have 2 traveler's notebook. One is going to be for my list and the other one is my planner, journal book, etc. I just need with everything, the dashboard decoration. See, perfect. I have to be honest. That's a good I have to be honest. I mean, nothing wrong. If you say I have to be honest, anyone else, I have to be honest, I really hate that. Then usually they're like, maybe you shouldn't say that. Not you, Dashira. Okay, there we go. There's our mitered corners. So now let's get that ready. That takes a little bit more time, right? So you might be like, I'm fine. I'm just going to, if I want corners like that, or if I want to, have a border, I'm just going to overlap and I'm not going to care that they overlap. But sometimes that's a teaching opportunity, right? We can all learn something new sometimes. Okay, there we go. And then this piece goes next. Oopsie, don't want to do that on there because I might get stuff on there. This is definitely a paper saver, right? This is a way to save some of your, because look at, now I still have that whole piece if I needed to. You meant to say you need help. No, please no. Please no, I was not calling you out by any means at all. At all, my dear. At all, at all, at all. All right. I don't want anyone ever to be, not want to chat and then be like, oh my gosh, I never should have chatted. All righty, this guy miters up. And then this one. Okay, one of the family isms that was on my list from last week. I just thought of it. I mean, in my brain, I just said it. I say it's hotter than the hubs of hell. It is hotter than the hubs of hell in here. Bye, Ariana. Good to see you, hon. Yes, it is hotter than the hubs of hell in here. Sorry if I swear. Yeah, these lights are very warm. Okay, there we go. There's my border. all of that for a border. Now I have this, so this could go right about here. And I think I like it that way. I'm going to actually have it, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it because I do what I did on the last one. That's kind of a little photo strip, right? Like from the photo booths from back in the day, like a little film strip thing. But I think these need to be separate, like we kind of did in the last one, just because we just might need a little bit more room in between what we're doing. This is going to be a long one today, isn't it, friends? Hi, Wendy. Debbie. So Debbie just said something that's also a good point. That border would be a great to just do journaling in there. Like I could just do, you know, just like that. So if I'm memory keeping, not making a list, I could totally do that, right? Oh, so you know what this would let me do? If I do this, I could do this. Look it. So I could kind of do something like this if I wanted. Split them up if I wanted, and then do the wording right there. Let's do that. Let's just do it, right? Let's just get busy. Let's get busy. Let's keep going and move on and be done with this list. Put that one there. And this one here. I'm going outside of my lines a little bit because that gives me a little bit more room to write. And I don't need much to write. This is a four item list. 4 things on my list, and the photos kind of coordinate with those. All right, now I didn't really get, oh man, I didn't do that well at all. I didn't get any adhesive on that edge. Okay, there we go. After all of that, not quite even, spaced in between. So let's just fix that up. Gentle, gentle, gentle. All right, here we go. Hi, Pam. All right, so what I thought I would do, we'll see if this will work now because I had pulled these numbers out. These are Pretty Little Studio. These I think are called school numbers, but when I saw these, I thought I have to order these and bring these in because so much of our listing, right? So much of our listing, we need numbers. And look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ones, there's probably 8 of every letter, right? Oh, interesting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. So 1s and 2s have a lot. This is smart. 1s and 2s and 0s have more than the others. You know why I bet? I bet because if you think about it, your years 2021, 2020, 2022, 2020, you need more 2s and 0s and 1s than maybe you need some of the other numbers. That's what I'm thinking. Pam, am I going to do a wing shot? I sure am. I have several wing shots from my last 2 trips. That is one of them. But it's a little bit hard to see because I had to crop it down. So what I was thinking, these are clear, meaning that they're not painted. They're not printed on a white background. They're printed on clear. So you can see that. Yeah. All right. So if I do like this, what if we go like a 1 there? Where's my tweezers? Here we go. Teens and 20s. Yes. So what was I? Oh, I know. Where was I? Was it when I was teaching last weekend? And someone said, oh my God, or maybe it was here when we were all together. I don't know. Someone said, gosh, why don't manufacturers do their number stickers differently? Like why don't, or even their letter stickers that have numbers on them, why don't they do more like 2s and 1s, especially 2s in the century, in the decade that we're in, the 20s. Well, I guess even in the century, because you always have a 2. But you need a lot of 2s. And I was explaining that unless you have a number sheet that only has numbers, it is a die. So it's a die that a metal die that they continue to use over and over and over again. So it's a little bit harder to switch that up if they already have something. Here's a benefit about using clear stickers. So if I wanted, like I could put that 3 right on the top of there. You would never even know that it was a sticker. You would think that I probably printed it right on the photo. So clear stickers are sometimes fun to use, especially if you want to add to your photos. What if we did 3 right there? Okay, I could put 3 over here on Jana, just a little bit of Jana. I could put 3 on here on me, but I don't want to do the 3 on me because, not because it's me, but because I have a 2 and a 3 right there. I think the 3 needs to go over here on Jana. This is my friend Jana. She was one of the instructors at the event. Jana actually took my place when I left Simple Stories. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a 4 right here. Okay. So this was before the event started. That was the dinner, educator dinner. All right, and 4, right there. All right, there we go. 4 things on my list. So I'm just gonna do my list really quick. So first thing, travel. I heart flying and taking pics out the window. And that's what Pam was talking about. I actually have a traveler's notebook. I have it handy right here where I had all my traveler's notebook stacked. Yes, Jana is awesome. Jana is so sweet, so sweet. Hi, Star. Okay, so this is, you guys, I use a lot of traveler's notebooks and I use them for a lot of different things. This is the one that I use actually for travel. I think we've talked before. There's a video, my very first one that I did to kick off kind of the whole videos with COVID thing. That sounded funny. Anyhow, it was an intro to traveler's notebooks. And I talk about a bunch of different things that you can use them for besides listing what we normally use them for on a Saturday. But this is the traveler's notebook of photos that I like to take out the airplane window. And this entire book, well, I started it in, I started it in March of 2020. March of 2020 before COVID happened. So I did the same format for every kind of entry. I always use the same size photo. These are Carrie Bradford stamps. This is the departing airport 3-digit code. That is the arriving airport 3-digit code, the date, and then just a little blurb on where I was going or where I was coming from. So was going, flew to Minneapolis, March 6th, came home March 8th. The week later, everything changed. And I decided I'm going to incorporate this into my book. I was supposed to travel on March 27th and did not because everything was grounded. So every other photo in the book is mine except for that one because how am I going to do that? Anyhow, so that's what Pam asked. If I was going to start again doing my travel photos out the window. And yes, I am. So I might do one of those this week because I would like to get one of those done. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is out the window because that's what I like to do when I travel is look out the window and take pictures. Okay, so travel, I heart flying. Going to new places. I had not been to Milwaukee before. Now, unfortunately, I did not get out because I was teaching at the event. But I would like to go back and explore. So this list is actually kind of a cross between memory keeping and listing, right? And we do that a lot. We talk about how sometimes our lists, well, usually we talk about how our lists are always memory keeping. It's just that sometimes they don't include a photo, right? Family isms, no photo here, but this is memory keeping. I am telling a story about our family and some of the fun sayings that we like to say and what the background is. So memory keeping, no photo, memory keeping photo, both lists, just done different ways. This one is seeing and reconnecting with old friends that I haven't seen in forever. Okay, so, and that is sometimes it's other people that are doing what I do, like I'm teaching. Other times it is some students or attendees, I should say, attendees at the event that I haven't seen forever. Sometimes they are old friends, but sometimes they are new friends. So this picture is actually a mixture right here of old friends and new friends. These are, this group is from Puerto Rico. So they come from Puerto Rico. We had somebody on a while ago. I don't know if she's still on, from Puerto Rico that I think was no, I'm just, I don't think she said she was at the event. Someone else was, but, I heart so much meeting, oh gosh, you can hear a truck outside, meeting new friends too. Okay. All right. So there we go. There's things I missed. Now, I haven't actually given it a title yet. I've done everything but that. So this is where our little piece of white cardstock comes back into play, which, where did it go? All right, friends. Usually you can see it and I can't. Did it get caught up somewhere in all of this? Oh, there it is. Okay. You're Puerto Rican. Awesome. So do you live in Puerto Rico? Or Puerto Rican, but not living in Puerto Rico. All right, so here we go. This needs a title. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull in a black alphabet sticker, and it is coming from, I already know in my head what I want to use. It's coming from this big giant container. Look at, there's a Band-Aid in there. Generally, I think not supposed to be in there. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I like to have Band-Aids in here because sometimes you never know. All right, that one. That could be slim pickings because look at how much, I love that one. Look at how much of that has been used. I think last time I tried to use that, I think I said to myself that I really needed to go get another sheet from downstairs. So maybe we'll use this one instead because I don't know if we have enough. So here's my trick to see if I have enough. So I just need to spell teaching. So on the sticker sheet, I grab my little pencil and I just do a little mark. T, oh, no lowercase e. I could use an uppercase E. T-E-A. And then generally what I do, oh, okay, I'd have to use an uppercase C, lowercase h, lowercase I, maybe an uppercase N, and then a lowercase g. All right, so I'm clearly going to mix cases there, but by doing that, I know that I have all the letters I need. I need the Band-Aids for paper cuts. Yes. One time, I just want to say one time at band camp, one time I was teaching. I even remember when it was. It was on one of our Saturdays. It was in March of 2020 because it was our year. It was a little celebration that we did, an all-day thing. And it was the year anniversary of when I'd done the first one. And I was doing something and somehow I scratched my arm and it was bleeding. And then I didn't have a Band-Aid in here. So guess what I did? I put washi on it and it worked. But from then on, I had a Band-Aid in here. But I don't know how that Band-Aid, it must have dropped in there or something because that's kind of weird that it'd be there. I guarantee you I would never look for it in there. That wasn't like stashed in there on purpose because I would never remember that I did that. This thing, using mixed cases. Sometimes I use mixed cases. Sometimes it's because I'm missing a letter, like I am here. But other times it's just to kind of have fun with it, right? Just to have fun with it a little bit. So you can mix cases. You can mix fonts too. So maybe I have enough of these and enough of these, but I decide, ooh, that might be fun to mix fonts. Or I could mix colors. So I could use the same font, but mixing in different colors. You don't have to, just use all the same font, all the same color, all the same case. But sometimes it's fun to mix, which it's out of necessity right now. So that's what we're doing. I need to make a mental note to get another, ooh, my head just hit the camera. I mean, it didn't hit it, but all right, there we go. Although what I might do, oh no, that would look weird. Yeah, guess what I'm going to do? So let's talk about this, why I don't want to do it this way. I was going to put this G down, right? Because I wanted to mix things up. The only problem is that is a, actually, I'm going to make it work. That is a, I don't know what is this imaginary line? That this is a dangle. I can't remember. There's a word for it where this part of the letter goes below the line and then like this part goes above the line. I don't remember what that's called, but that is the only sticker where it goes below the line. So sometimes that could look a little odd. Lynette has a friend that has severe anxiety about mixing fonts. She just cannot handle it. That's funny. Okay, so this is my thought. I'm going to do that. Oh, didn't quite get that guy off. These are cardstock. Remember when I did this before and I mentioned that cardstock stickers sometimes like to pop. They like to pop off. And that's kind of a little bit what happened here. So let me just align those because these are pretty small. Okay. There's teaching. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the rest of it above and a little bit below. What I missed. Oh, guess what was supposed to go there? About. Okay, bear with me. This will be fast. I'll make it fast. That was not going to work. So I have to fix it. Normally I'll be like, oh, well, but on that one, it would just look so funny if I did what I missed teaching in person. That would just be too weird. So sorry. I'll be quick. I will be quick. I'll be quick. I'm going to try to be so fast. Okay. And I'm going to talk about something that Karen mentioned before. Karen mentioned something before, just type the journaling. And I'm just going to fill the time while I'm doing this. She had mentioned just type the journaling. So you could, I know that some people like to write. I know some people like to make lists. I know some of you that won't do it because you hate your handwriting. So you could theoretically do all of your lists on paper, on the typewriter, on the computer. Karen, it says what I missed. What I missed about teaching in person. Maybe that wasn't clear in what I said. But Karen was talking about typing. So you could type all your lists. You could type your journaling or your storytelling that you're doing. You don't have to write. I personally feel like writing is really important. It's important to me because I think it's part of our personalities, right? I think it's definitely part of our personalities. So I'm going to write backwards, teaching, what I missed about. So we'll do about right here. What I missed. What I missed about teaching. And then we'll just do this. We'll tuck this right in here. In person. That is why I left the G down low like that, because I knew I could tuck in person right there. All right, so we have got to do a little separator here. And now by doing that, I'm going to make some trapped white space, which will bother me. So when I say I need to do a separator, if I am, I know what I'm going to do. Let's do this. If I am, part of my title is written, and then if I start also writing my list here, it's going to kind of all run together. Not my list, just I'm going to do a little blurb about, now I'm teaching again. But then it will be hard to distinguish visually between the title and then what I'm writing. So I need a little visual separator. So maybe instead of writing a line, because a line would be weird, if I were to write a line right here, I'd basically be creating this little trapped white space right there. And then that would look weird to me. So if we did this happy, that would kind of work. And it's pretty thin, but I'm even going to create the trapped white space with that. So what if this goes here? I think we can make that work like that. And then maybe we do our little divider. We just make it really teeny. Like that. Okay. What I missed about teaching in person. It's kind of funky, but that's okay. I need my, okay, hold on. I'm just looking for something really quick. Oh, here they are. My box of hearts. Yes, I know I'm mixing the dot over the I. I have a plan for that. Maybe. So what I'm looking for right now is some little hearts. So I was going to put maybe a little heart over the I. And if I put a heart over the I was then also going to start my little just blurb right there with a heart as well. So let's see. This goes here. And maybe this green kind of coordinates with what's some of the green in here. These are just little epoxy stickers from Doodlebug. And I have them on the website. So if I did that there, but now let's see if we do another green right above the I. And if we don't like that, then we'll just put the I, we'll put the dot there. Okay, scale-wise, too big. If my letters were taller, then, wider. If they were wider, then then that would probably work, but too thin, so the scale is just off. All right, so let's put those away. Lynette, this is another example. All of my hearts go in there because I use hearts a lot. Okay, let's grab the dot to the I. So go right there. Okay, what I missed about teaching in person. Started teaching again after more than a year due to COVID. Gosh, I missed it so very much. Okay. That'll be fine. So that's going to go right there. And then we need, my coffee's sitting there. That's very dangerous. My coffee's right over here. You can't see it, but that is a sometimes recipe for disaster. Oh yes, you could do Nouveau dot over the I. I could absolutely do that too. All right, so now it just needs a little decoration, right? It's just kind of, it needs something. So let's go to, I know all of these will be too big. This is the same collection where all the leaves came from on the list that we did 2 weeks ago. But let's grab out the stickers. Oh, I still need to use this one. I love that border strip with all those little trees. Kim, if you're still on, I think you love that one, right? That, stickers. And then we also had, yeah, I think that's it. All right, so let's look because it just needs a little something. Needs a little something. This could fit somewhere. Nah, too big. Lynette, I think that was you again too, right? That you have all your little cameras that you said you liked in a little section. You and me. That's okay. That could go right there. That works, you and me. And then I feel like we need a little heart right there. Could go right there. Ooh, okay, make happy or make happiness. So I wouldn't use make happiness, but look what we can do. Woo, okay. Joanne, hi Joanne. We'll take this little happiness. I don't need the make part, but I might want to use make later, so we'll just put that right back down. Happiness can go, look at that space that we kind of left. So it doesn't kind of, we're just gonna squeeze it in there like that. Okay. Up here, what else do we have that we could throw in? Maybe some, ooh, that's not good. I've got, oh, that doesn't even belong there. That's from something else. Man's best friend. That came off of here somehow. One of my guys, oh, right here. And then this came off of, I cut that because there was something I was going to do with it, but then I didn't. All right, I think we could put some, maybe this guy, maybe this little flower right here. Okay. It needs a little bit more work. Oh. Okay. There are some hearts here, but those hearts are too big. I'm going to use some of the hearts from this sticker sheet, I think. And then I will be done. And I'll be ready to move on to the next one because these colors, I think, will still work with what we're doing. Oh, look it. There. I just put that little heart over the top. That's how you know it's clear. So I drew a heart and then just put that clear one over it, that clear pink, and that turned out cute. I like that. I like how that looked. So I think we can do another one of those right there. What if we did all of them will have little hearts next to them? Because then they kind of tie in with that little heart over here. So what if we do this one right here? Okay. Whoopsie. Not quite right there. Maybe right there. Okay, and then we need, oh, I don't want this one now. I want one of these. So, ooh, yellow. Let's do a yellow. Yellow can go, how about right there? And then we can put another heart right there. So let's do the blue. And then I will be done with this for now. I may like let it sit for a while. Sometimes you just have to let things sit and think, and then we'll see if I want to do anything more to it. Okay. Hi, Tiffany. I know I missed you. I missed everybody. Okay, so there we go. Totally different. So you guys, this is totally different type of list than I normally do, right? As was this one. This one's still a work in progress. But even this one, this was different, right? Actually, there's been a lot of difference. This one was totally different. So just trying to work on giving us some different types of ideas than the normal lists that I kind of tend to always do with the same format. Some work, some don't work quite as well as others, but it's just kind of fun. Okay, so that one will be done for now. So let me really quickly just get all of these things back in here. Still, we'll be using some more Bungalow Lane over the next little while. So we'll have 2 weeks of lists in November, the 20th and then I guess the 27th. And then we will not be together the first week in December. Well, I'm cleaning up. Let's just talk about this for a minute. And I'll make sure to talk about this in the emails that always get sent out and so forth, but just kind of be aware. Nick, so my husband travels quite a bit for work, and he's in sales. One part of his territory is Hawaii. And he said the other day, so I have to go to Hawaii in end of November, early December. And I'm like, awesome, where are we going? When are we going? And he goes, no, I have to work. And I'm like, when are we going? So his company obviously pays for his plane ticket. I have so many miles that then I bought miles for I used miles for my ticket. And that is company pays for the hotel because business trip, right? So that's a hard one to turn down. So my friends, I'm sorry. I'm leaving you in the dust the first weekend of December for Hawaii. But I know that if it was you, the shoe is on the other foot, I know you would do it too. So anyhow, that's just what I need to talk about while I was cleaning up. Our third list is a single pager. So this will go a little bit faster. Okay, so as you guys, some of you are chuckling, going a little bit faster, really? Let's have a sip of coffee real quick. Now the lukewarm coffee. Okay. Okay. This I need to put somewhere. It's very much making me nervous because I don't want to spill it all over my work surface and ruin things. But I also am worried that if I spill it, some expletives might come out of my mouth that I really wouldn't want to have come out of my mouth when we were all together. Because let's be honest, I swear, it's just part of what comes with me. But I try really hard. It's very important to me that I don't swear. Well, sometimes I say hell when we're, like I said, hotter than the huts of hell, but that's okay. That's probably what I try to limit the extent when we are chatting. But that's not something I want to share with you guys, is my potty mouth that sometimes I have. All right. Okay, so here we go. Next up is our third list. Our third list is childhood friends. Now, I need to look at my book because I think I wrote this down. Someone in my little book here, where's list ideas? My brand new book, list ideas. Did somebody tell me? Yes. Okay, there we go. My friend Karen Petrowski. She one day said, you know what? It would be fun if you did a list about childhood friends. She does not craft like we do. Sometimes she comes and hangs out with us, but childhood friends came from Karen. So as you guys tell me, hey, it would be fun if we did this list. Like Beach Gal Deborah said, ooh, childhood jingles. That would be a fun list. So now I'm keeping track of these. Shirley Winslow. My gosh, Shirley Winslow. Duh, I can't believe I said that. I was with her a couple weekends ago at the Halloween retreat, and she said, weird things our family does. So we already did the things our family says, but different things our family does, we thought would be a fun one. So anyhow, childhood friends, courtesy of my friend Karen Petrowski. Some of these, you guys, I remembered. Ooh, Karen, I love that. Christmas ornaments. Normally in my documented December daily book every year, I do a spread about, or a page about ornaments. But that would be a fun one. We didn't do that last year. So this would be, where's my other pen that doesn't write as dark? I'll use my pencil. Christmas ornaments. Because on that one, you could do a couple of different things. I know exactly what I'm going to do with that one on though. That is KARYNHAINES. That one, you could include photos if you wanted, but you wouldn't have to use photos, right? You could just make a list of them, but you could also maybe do fewer, and you could tell a story behind some of those favorite photos. So, Debbie, gotcha, Colleen, 1234. Thank you. Debbie just asked, did you post your book somewhere that we can download? I have not yet, Debbie. I'm kind of trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I reached out to a couple people and, responded back to a couple people that had emailed me and started asking them some questions. And what I'm toying back and forth with is how, okay, I like that one too. I think we've done traditions before, but I love that kind of spin on it of traditions kept, traditions created. So, like traditions that are family traditions that you've had for a while. And that's Mary. Okay. So this was the thing that came up about the book. I mean, if you don't know about the book, this is a book that I created for myself because I have for a year, more than a year, been basically every day, every Saturday we get together recreating this because I always need to capture the same information. So I made my own book. I made my own inserts. I had it printed, and I had FedEx Kinko's kind of bind it and all that. So I've got my sketches of what I'm doing. I've got list ideas. I have layout ideas for double pages, single, all kinds of things. But I had people reach out, and even on our last live when I started using this for the first time, how that asked, oh my gosh, we would love something like that. So the people that reached out, a few of them, I responded back and said, so how would this work? Everything is double-sided. Some people know how to print double-sided. Some people don't. Some people don't want to mess with that. There are section dividers in between each one. Some people didn't want to do that. Some people wanted to do that. Some people didn't know how to do this or have a tool that would do this for them or have to take it somewhere. So what I'm kind of leaning towards is making a not as thick version of this that actually people could purchase. So it would be all ready to go. It would have that, it would have each sections, it'd have cardstock between a section, it would have the cover. It wouldn't say this. I don't know if I would put something else on it. That's a whole other thing I have to figure out. It also wouldn't be decorated right here. There'd be heavy cardstock here, but then people could decorate however they wanted. So, and it'd have that kind of harder cover on the back. So that's what I'm thinking of, as opposed, Debbie, to, I'm thinking of doing that as opposed to having a PDF, because I'm afraid what would happen if I had a PDF. I'm afraid I'd get, this is going to sound mean, but if I did the PDF, I just put it out there. But I think there'd be enough people that'd be like, wait a minute, how do I do that? And where do I go to get it bound? And what if I want to do it this way? And how do I print double-sided? And how do I break it into sections? Because the PDF would basically only have one, anyhow, long story, but that's where we stand. So that's what I'm thinking. And I've sourced already this. I've sourced the machine that does this. I've sourced the covers. So we'll see. I may do it. Okay. So, and you know what, Celia, I may also do downloadable as an option, because I know there's some people that would rather just do it themselves. So, but that's something I could do as well. And then it would be a lot less if it was downloadable. Okay. So, this list, childhood friends, my friend Karen. So what I thought I would do, I've pulled out the brand new Market Square. Some Market Square is going to get used on this. Market Square is the new collection from Maggie Holmes. Oh gosh, you guys, if you've been with me for a while, you know how much I love Maggie. The flowers, kind of the cabbage roses. She always has cameras, the birds, everything. So I thought this would be kind of fun to use. And then I also was toying with, oh, I haven't even pulled these out yet. The die cuts, like literally this just came in this week. I was also toying with, kind of like that. I got distracted. Where did they go? Oh, these guys. I was toying with using the little vintage fairies, maybe using one of the vintage fairies in as well. So these are stickers. We used these. We used one of these on a list a couple of weeks ago. These were super popular, so I think that I still have a few in the shop, but I also have them on reorders. So this list, let me just show you. Oh yeah, where we used it right there. So they're just cute little kind of vintage, like photos of little girls. But then I don't think there's any boys. Oh, I don't know. That could be a boy. Actually they could all be girls, right? They could all be girls. They could all be boys. It could go whichever way you want it to go. But I thought these could be kind of fun. So photos, vintage photos. And then there's been some like little, like somebody took pattern paper and cut the little, crowns off and then put little wings behind them. But I thought that might be fun for one of these lists. So maybe this one. She's kind of cute, huh? Look at her cute little dress and her cute little cheeks. So one-page list. We will start right here. And I think this one, I'm just going to do it right on the page. Let me look at my little sketch to see what I was thinking. So don't do this very often. This, when I used it before, was down here. And normally I kind of anchor a list down in the lower left-hand corner, right? So this one has kind of anchors in a lot of places, but The title is anchored there. That's anchored there. Photos anchored on the other side. But I generally land in that kind of lower left-hand corner. Although as I've been getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. Anyhow, so, but I thought it might be fun to do this maybe right there. And then do my title right here and then do a little bit of listing. So I probably need to figure out though, what color. Oh, this is cute. I think it needs to be that one. Because it's kind of a little girl and some of my childhood friends. There is one boy childhood friend that I remember. So I couldn't remember a lot of my friends. The ones from like middle school and high school, I could remember. But as a young child, I couldn't remember some of their names. So I just reached out to my mom, and then my mom helped me remember some of the names. So if you're doing a list and you don't always remember some of the things, then reach out to family members and ask. Okay. Karen, this list, I don't know, it may have been while you were on vacation. That one was October 2nd. So October 2nd is when we did that one. And that one is What Makes Me Me. So I think we'll use her because I could use, oh, I know what I was thinking. Let me go into the die cuts, Market Square. And Market Square, brand new Maggie Holmes, and I have linked this in the description of the video because I carry it on my website. So I saw this in the back of the packaging, right? I saw that. Interesting, it's acetate. So it is not cardstock, right? It's acetate. So that could be kind of fun. I was thinking maybe that would be fun to do like one of those things on, but that's probably too much. If it was down here, yeah, I think it's going to be too much because then I don't have much room for title. So maybe it's just, we'll go like that. But let's look and see what else we have in here. Oh, You and Me could be fun because that would be, oh, okay. So this is different. Just looking through these for the first time. So look at You and Me. I don't think I will use that because it is popped out. Let's see what it looks like popped out. Well, look, I was not thinking that it would be popped out. But You and Me kind of works for childhood friends. If I used this one, I would need to not use that one, right? Because that pink is too much. If we did that, no, not that either. Go back to the back and, oh, there was a really cute little yellow bird on here. Let's maybe look at the yellow bird and see if we like that. Bird, yellow bird. That could be cute. But we wouldn't use yellow then if we did that. We could use pink. And then this could go down there maybe. Oh, and then we could use a cabbage rose. So, but if we used a cabbage rose, we wouldn't want to use the yellow one because we have the yellow bird. So now let's look back at the stickers. We saw, oh, a pink one. We could do a pink rose with our little yellow bird maybe. And then maybe a butterfly in there. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll use the little bird out of here. Put this guy back. Those of you that like Maggie Holmes, I also have, still waiting on quite a bit of the product though, for this, but I have a mini book project kit coming out with the Market Square collection as well. So news at 11 on that once I have all the product. It is Scrapbook Sister 70. It is called Market Square. Just added to my website this week, like brand spanking new. It is not all in stock yet. Still waiting on, they aren't shipping yet the, no, we don't like that one. They are not shipping yet because wrong pink. They're not shipping yet the, I think the washi and the, oh, that could be cute though, because that pink's a little bit closer. Not shipping yet the washi and the, my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. Oh, look at those two are together. I'm totally sidetracked. I'm squirreling bad. They're not shipping yet the washi and the 6x8 pad. Okay, sorry about that. A lot of you guys know about, and it's not just the scrapbooking crafting industry. A lot of you guys know, that's it, about the delays in product arriving, right? You see things on the news about like overhead shots of the ports in LA and Long Beach, California, and the ships that are just like backed up in the ocean. There's just a lot of stuff happening in terms of product arrivals and product delays due to, we're still even experiencing the factories not having product. or taking longer because in the early days of COVID, the factory's being shut down. I'm going to trim part of this. So even though it's been a long time, there's still lots and lots and lots of backlog. Like if you've tried to order furniture, furniture is taking forever. If you've tried to order anything for your house, taking forever. Now we're even hearing things like paper shortage again when it comes to things like toilet paper, because it's just pulp. There's something happening. It's everywhere, right? Everywhere. Okay, that's going to need a little bit more sticky. We'll do this maybe right here. So this is lifting up just because nothing wrong with the sticker, but there's so much happening right there that it's having a hard time sticking down. So let me grab some double-sided tape to help that right along. Anyone want to be a truck driver? Exactly, yes. That's the other thing. So factories are issues. There's issues at the ports with labor. So unloading containers. Then when a container comes in, it has to go through customs. So customs, and even then truck drivers. So that is also another part. Truck driver shortage. So it's affecting a lot of things. And they say, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So anyhow, American Crafts made the decision to start shipping some of the product, but not all of it yet. And that's the case also with Vicky's new Fernwood collection as well. So I have some Fernwood. Most of the Fernwood. I think I'm just missing the paper pad. So most of Fernwood except for paper pad, which also has a mini book project kit coming with it. And then a few things still waiting on Market Square. But those of you that are Simple Stories fans, in about a week, probably a week from yesterday, I'm hoping, I should have all of their new collections. So they've got some fun ones that they came out with. And new mini book projects with those too. So much stuff coming. All right. Karen said Ikea. Yeah, I had gone to Ikea a couple of weeks ago looking for some white bins, and I was trying to, I already had some white bins and I wanted the same, the same ones. And Ikea looked like a ghost town. Ikea looked like they had a Black Friday sale and everything was on sale 100% off. I mean, like really, it was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then I went, oh yeah, I remember. So yeah, they're saying right now that any kind of Christmas shopping that you're doing, it's a good idea to maybe shop early. Shop early or handmade or whatever. Okay, that's a die cut. So we need to add a little glue pen behind it. And we'll do that. Okay, now we need a little washi. And I really wish that that green was closer to this green, but that's okay. So we need a little washi. And I do not yet have the Maggie Holmes Market Square washi. So I pulled out a couple things that just knowing what I was going to use. This, I originally thought, but now that's way too much with the flower and the flower. That's going to be too much. This I pulled out, but here's the deal. With this, I don't know. This is more of a vertical washi. We don't see vertical washi very often. This is more of a vertical washi. And I don't think I want it vertical. So does it look funny if we go horizontal? Maybe not. Let's try it. So I really should have, before I did that, yeah, Simple Stories has some fun stuff coming out. Those of you that like their simple vintage, they have a really good simple vintage one coming out called Weathered Garden. That is really pretty. So I'll have all that product. And then also, like I said, mini book project kit with it as well. Okay, so now we need, I'm going to have to glue that one down again. Now we need a little bit of something right there. Oh, let's see. Don't mind this giant mess, okay, friends? This was when I did that blog post and the picture on Instagram. This is all the leftover still from this. So maybe, I don't know, this could be kind of fun. That's how I got the 70 rolls in a, oh, is that here? Remember how I said I got 70 rolls, 75 rolls in my pocket? Oh, wait, guess what I found? Guess what I found? Okay, sorry. Look it. Look it. Remember when I said Remember when I said I couldn't find the Halloween stuff? Here it is, buried in the bottom of this. Oh, glad we looked at that. I'm so glad we looked at that. It's no wonder I couldn't find what I had done with that craziness. Okay. Yes, handmade for sure. So this could be kind of fun. I like this. We're going to use this one. This vertical black and white stripe. It'll just give me a little bit of a contrast here. My bird's trying to fly away. Eek. Okay, there we go. Now I'll deal with the bird later because it needs to have more adhesive behind him. Okay, let's go ahead and outline. Remember when I was saying on the first list, it gets a little bit challenging. It gets a little bit challenging when you are trying to do your list directly on, let's get that out. Do your list directly on the paper when you get this late in the book because there's so much that's going on back here. So it will be a little bit challenging. Just a little bit, but we can deal. So do you guys remember your childhood friends? I have a really fun story about one of mine. A really fun story. So I'm going to get some alphabet stickers out right now. Yes, I'm so excited that I found that. I can't even tell you. Because it's even, sometimes you're like you're starting to get really mad at yourself because like, seriously, what in the world did I do with it? What in the world did I do with it? All right, so I need a title here. And I know what I'm going to use for my title. I'm going to pull out some alphabet stickers from scrapbook.com. And they are, is that it? Yep, those are the ones I want. Oh, but while I'm in here, I am going to need some of my word strip stickers. Oh, okay. I know where the rest of them are. The rest of them are for when I was traveling. I took some with me. Okay, so title, childhood friends. So let's see, childhood. Let's hope childhood will fit in the space that I have there. Ruler comes out again. I'm going to use this really pretty kind of blush pink color because the blush pink will kind of go well with her little dress, and then it will also tie all of that in together. As opposed to black, because black would be kind of dark. So there's black stickers in here too, but I'm going to use this color. Lynette said, I grew up in a very small community and went to school from kindergarten to graduation with the same 16 people. It's more like siblings. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal. Shannon bought the new Fancy Pants Halloween paper from you and I cannot find it anywhere. Oh, I found the ephemera pack. Oh, so you got it and you put it away somewhere and you have no idea where it is. Oh, I hate that. I can't help you with that. Lynette, so living in a small town. I grew up in a town called Park City. It's here in Utah. We moved there in 1978. So it's kind of like nowadays, it's kind of like an Aspen or a Vail, like a ski town. Back then, it was just super small town. And I thought it was small. My high school, well, there were 69 people in my graduating class. I thought that was small, but 16, wow, that is crazy. Scrapbook Sista is still best friends with her high school friends. Oh, I love that. For me, it's college friends, my college friends that I am still best friends with. But it's so cool when you can still, have relationships with people like that from your past. Some of you, it may be work associates, maybe people that you worked with a really long time ago, or maybe like a mom group or something like that. My dad was in the Navy, so he was gone all the time and we got stationed all over. We were stationed in Japan for 3 years. And what's fairly common then, and I think it's fairly common in the military, at least here in the US, that military families, like basically the wives and the kids, oh, don't put the eye on yet. So do you guys see what I'm doing? Sometimes this is a hazard of talking and trying to work at the same time. I am not spelling childhood. For whatever reason, I'm spelling Christmas, which I do not want to do. So let's fix this. We don't want childhood. We want Christmas. I mean, oh my gosh, we don't want Christmas. We want childhood. Oh yes. So in at least back then, I don't know if it's still the case, but the wives would do a lot of things together, and kind of get together and raise their kids together, and just when you are all experiencing the same thing, which is having your husband be gone for long periods of time on the aircraft carrier, you tend to bond with other people in your same situation. So my mother still keeps in contact with one of the other wives, actually several of them, and they reconnected through Facebook, which is kind of cool. So two of my childhood friends are one of those mother's children. Childhood friends. So it may be even something like that, where you have, similar experiences and you bonded. Maybe it was, like I said, mom's group, or maybe you were moms in the same school, or maybe people in a book club, or whatever it is. So this could be any kind of, oh, childhood. Guess what's going to happen? I don't think this is going to fit. This could be any kind of friends, right? If childhood doesn't work for you, then fill in the blank. These could be furry friends, right? These could be your furry friends from your life, your pets, or someone else's pets that were your friends. Okay, actually, will childhood fit right here? Oh, all right. We're going to make it work. I could do child and then hood underneath, but then that would be weird. So what I really should have done, I should have waited to attach this sticker before doing this. What do you suppose the chances are that I could pull that off? Should we try? We'll know pretty quickly. Ooh, yes. Oh, it's my lucky day. Look at, like butter. It's coming off like butter. I just have to be very gentle. Be gentle. Okay, so now what I'll do, now I will add this, and then I can come back and place that sticker, right? I think I want this to be low, like this. All right, press these all down. And the D probably is not going to work because it's a little bit on the curve, so I'll let that pop off, and then I'll place it again. Okay, there we go. Childhood Christmas friends, right? That was funny. Oh, where did it pop? Here we go. Childhood. Bernice said, I'm one of 9, so we didn't spend much time with friends, but I did have one friend my parents would let me visit. We lost touch, but I ran into her maybe 10 years ago, and she still looks the same. Oh, that's really fun. That's fun. Church camp buddies, there you go. Maybe you went to camp. I went to Girl Scout camp. So look, we'll just put that right there. That actually works really well now. Her little crown fits in right in there. And then we'll do friends here. Childhood friends. Okay. So let's go back to here and we'll chat some more. So I said that my friend Karen had suggested this list. If you guys have list suggestions, I love them. I love, because sometimes I'm like racking my brain. So I try to keep an ongoing list, and that's why one of the pages in here has list ideas. I try to keep an ongoing list of list ideas, just so I always have them. And prior to having my little book that I designed, prior to having that little book, they were on, I had some in a traveler's notebook. I had some in a notes section on my phone. Some would get scrawled on a piece of paper while we were in the middle of listing. They were just all over the place. So now they're all in one place. Childhood friends. I will tell you about one of my friends while I'm doing this. Her name was Misty Henry, and we lived in Texas. That was one of the places my dad was stationed, in a town called Kingsville. That's super south, like south of Corpus Christi. If you know Texas, it's like way down, way down, in the very bottom, kind of by Padre Island, but even south of that. So we went to school together. We met at school. I was in 3rd grade. Well, we were both in 3rd grade. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, I was there. And so then we moved to Utah. So when we moved to Utah, my dad was not in the Navy anymore. He decided that he wanted to do something different. We moved to Utah. Friends, we need an S. So we moved to Utah, and I probably maybe for the first year or so, probably we rode each other back and forth, because back then, well, we could call, but calling on the phone was very expensive long distance back then, in the 70s. And so we would write letters, snail mail, right? We would write letters. And so we maybe did that for about a year and then completely lost track. So guess what? I had Misty Henry, but she's not Henry anymore, reach out. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago on Facebook, and she found me because on Facebook I'm Lael, and then my maiden name was Erin Scobb, and then married name Konkar. So she searched me, although it'd be pretty easy to search Lael too, because there aren't that many of us. But anyhow, she found me, and she said, we chatted back and forth, and she said, I live, back east somewhere. And she said, where do you live? And I said, I live in Utah. And she said, where in Utah? And I said, a suburb of Salt Lake. And she goes, are you kidding me? She said, I've been to Salt Lake before for business, and I have to come to Salt Lake again for business. And so guess what we did? I actually had her come over to my house. She came over to my house. Nick was here, and so we had dinner and we reminisced, and it was so much fun. But that's the power of social media, right? Sometimes social media is really bad. Sometimes social media is good. And in that situation, social media was very good, because I guarantee you, without social media, we never would have reconnected, right? I mean, how would you have reconnected? Okay, there we go. Fixed our little bird. So there we go. Childhood friends. Now I'm ready for my list. I need a little separator here just because it feels like it needs something. I make these little separators, just a line, right? Separator a lot. After all that color and all that pattern that we had going on before, this one's going to be pretty plain and simple, right? Lots of white. I like the like white as a background. All right, childhood friends. So, I think what I will do is I think I'm going to do a little bit of journaling. Let's see. Friends have always been an important part of my life. These, I'm going to just call them girls. I know some people don't like the word girls. These girls are some that I remember from elementary, middle, and high school. Okay, there we go. So just did a little bit of journaling, and now I can do my list. So I think what's going to happen, I think I have probably a 2-column list here because I have more than will fit here, I believe. But adding that little explanation, obviously gave it an explanation, but then now gives me a starting point that is very even, as opposed if I had gone this way. And that would have been okay if I went this way, but then I'd be kind of, that way. So, oh, look at that. Jeanette said, my childhood friend Rita just sent me a photo this morning of herself and her great-grandbaby. So maybe you had lots of childhood friends and you don't remember lots of their names, so you don't want to list them all. Maybe you decide you have a couple of key, like really special friends from your childhood. Maybe those that you're still in touch with, maybe some that you haven't been in touch with in a long time, but you want to reconnect with. In that case, you could do kind of a shorter list and then maybe talk a little bit about where those friends came from. So maybe something a little bit more like this, but a little bit more, wording to it. You can decide, could be a 1-page list, could be a 2-page list. If you have pictures from your childhood of you with those friends, or maybe you don't have pictures of you with your friends, maybe you have yearbooks. Take a picture of their photo in the yearbook and then print that out, and you could put their yearbook photos here or your class picture photos or whatever it is. That just kind of some different ways or different ideas that you could do that. All right, so I pulled out ahead of time because I knew I was going to use some pink, and I knew I was going to maybe use these little stickers. So I pulled out these guys. These are little dot stickers. So I was maybe going to use little dot stickers there. But before I go any further, I need to grab across the room some of my word strip stickers. So let me see where they are. I think they are. They're in here. This, oh golly, let's hope I don't fall down because there's stuff all over the floor that we've been working with. This. So this I recently found, this big pouch, I found at Daiso when I was in California. Daiso is like a Japanese dollar and more store, but anyhow, that big container. Then I like containers. All kinds of smaller little containers with things. But that is where I put the word strip stickers. Real quick, this is what I was looking for before when I was in that little washi container. This, when I said I could put 75 rolls of washi in my back pocket, this is what I was talking about. Look at, this is 75, not rolls, but 75 patterns of washi. This, if you want to know more about this and why I did this and how I did this, it's on my blog. So just go to laelbymail.com and click on blog. But this is how I travel with washi. That is 75 patterns that now I have with me that I could put in my back pocket or in this little bag to travel with. Okay, here are my word strip stickers. Let's just throw that on the floor. Karen, I love containers and containers to hold containers. That's clearly what this is. This is a container to hold containers. Nick thinks I am a nutcase. Well, from a number of different reasons, that one included. He thinks I'm a nutcase, but I do. I love containers and I love containers and containers. I love things to be organized because it helps me think more like peaceful. I know that sounds really weird, but I feel more at peace that way. If things are everywhere, then a little bit of anxiety kicks in. So I thought what I would maybe do here is maybe put a little word strip sticker here, or maybe up here, or maybe down here. I'm not quite sure. So before I get going though, I really need to decide. Wow, sorry about that. It sounds like a semi. I know there's not a semi, but it sounds like one with the windows open. So I was thinking word strip sticker there. This is small talk. Word strip stickers are my go-to. When I have a little space and I just need a little something, that is what goes there. So I think I might want black. So, create miracles happen, see possibility, adventure is worthwhile, be your beautiful self, never doubt, hold on tight to your dreams, trust your crazy ideas, live your life, today is a good day, just kind of looking for something that might kind of fit. Choose to see the good stuff, live, create, tell the story, that could work there, right? I feel so lucky, that could work. Gosh, I feel so lucky could work really well, couldn't it? I feel so lucky, I feel like needs to go right there. Because look at that, it's like it was designed to go in between the H and the D. So there's one there. I don't know, if I put one here now, it kind of needs to be long. It can't really be short. So let's see if we can find a longer one. You can never have too much happy. That could go here. These are just kind of generic, right? You could never have too much happy. Let's see what that looks like. Here's the deal. I can put that down, and if I decide I don't like it there later, I could pull it off. But I think I like that. And that ties in with the black here, and it kind of ties in with a little bit of the black in that artwork. And then the black in the bird and the black in the flower. Okay, Jeanette just brought up a great question, and I'll let you guys answer this. I can answer it, but you guys can answer it too. Jeanette said, I love containers and boxes too. Do you think it's something all creative people like crafters, scrapbookers, creative people? You wonder, because I know a lot of us do. Half the fun is organizing and reorganizing, right? At least this kind of stuff for me. So you guys chime in on that. I'm interested, curious to see. Or people who love collect. Yeah, that's another part of it, I think, too, Karen, right? Collecting stuff. A lot of us are collectors. When I say collectors, I mean collectors of lots of product like this. A lot of us are not users. We want to be users and collectors, right? Collecting is okay, but if you never use it, well, then that's not necessarily okay, unless you're like, collecting, I don't know, Star Wars figurines or something that are collectible. But if it's product like this, we should use it because we bought it for a reason. We bought it because it was going to make us happy. So we should probably use it. So if you buy, use, right? If you buy it, use it. Here's the other thing. You can go back to your old stuff too. I mean, everything that we use, I generally use new stuff because I want you guys to see new stuff because that's part of my business. But also, I like to use new stuff because I can can tend to purge stuff pretty quickly. Or I give it away. Yeah, anyhow, but I encourage you to even go back to your old stuff. And you can mix in old stuff and new stuff, right? Not everything you do has to be new. So mix in your new and your old. Jeanette says, my husband doesn't understand my need to keep boxes just in case. I always end up using them. Absolutely. Yes. Bernice too said, collecting is dangerous when you don't use it. Absolutely. All right. So using the little dot stickers, I need to see how many people that I remembered on my list. Now, if one of my friends from my childhood ever happens to come back and watch this video and is unhappy that they are not on this list, just know I didn't mean to forget you. Sorry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Would you believe that would take me literally to 13? I promise you. Look at, here's my list ahead of time. All 13 people on my list. And I ended up with 13. That never happens, right? I mean, life never works like that. Am I right? Okay, so no one has to get dropped and I don't have to come up with one that I couldn't think of before. So these first few came from my mom because I couldn't remember them. I don't know who that is, Karen Katie. But my mom said she and I were very good friends when I was little. I think a lot of my childhood friends, I shouldn't say a lot, I think some of my childhood friends, I think I don't remember because I would have been young, clearly, right? I would have been young. And we moved a lot because my dad was in the Navy. My dad was in the Navy. So moving a lot and being young, sometimes you don't have all the memories of your childhood. So, and then another one. This one was another one my mom said, oh my gosh, I remember all these pictures of you with her. And I'm like, I don't remember her. But I want to remember her in my list. So Lisa Maniscalco. Lisa Maniscalco. All right. So next up, we have, that pink is like the perfect match. These are going to start to overlap a little bit. That's just what's going to happen. Next up. Okay. I got to ask my mom. She didn't remember. I remember Marie. But I don't remember Marie's last name. I have to see if my mom can remember my friend Marie's last name because I remember her. I must have a picture of me with her because I can remember her face. But I was quite young, but I can remember her face. This is going to bug me. Oh, well. Marie. Next up is... his name was Patrick Worley and his sister, Tiffany Worley. I remembered them. These are Navy. So their dad flew with my dad in the Navy and my mom and their mom. They were very close friends because what I mentioned before, how all the Navy moms kind of, hang together. This one, the one I just mentioned. So Misty Henry, also Texas. So we moved to Texas when I was in what I said, 2nd and 3rd and 4th grade. And so I think that's for me when I kind of started remembering some of my friends. So that was Misty Henry. Next up, we have, this was starting in 4th grade in Park City, Jennifer Holder. Jennifer Holder and I, you guys have probably heard me tell this story. I think we talked about childhood crushes as one of our lists. And I said that Leif Garrett was one of my childhood crushes because I was in a movie with him as an extra when I was at that age. No, I was probably maybe 7th grade because there was a lot of filming done in Park City back then. And I was in a movie with him. And I have a picture of him still have where he is standing with his arms around me and then my friend Jennifer Holder. And I had the biggest crush on him when I was a little kid. But let me tell you something, if you had a crush on him as a little kid, don't go Google him. Because guess what? We all get older and then it totally ruined it for me when I Googled him, now. Because he doesn't look like how I remember him. But guess what? I'm sure I don't either. I mean, not that he had a crush on me, but oh, I had all the dreams about him. And then I would wake up and I'd be so sad because in our dreams we were dating, even though he's probably like 30 and I was in seventh grade, but we weren't really dating, but you know what I mean? He liked me. And, uh, and yeah, then I woke up and I was so sad because it was just a dream. That's a squirrel moment, right? Big time squirrel moment. Next one, my friend, also, these are all the rest are from Park City. My friend Rhonda Totten, and she, high school, well, probably 8th grade on. And then all the rest of these are high school, also 8th grade on. Paige Irvine. So high school or middle school, back then in Park City where I grew up, middle school was 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then high school was 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And I know a lot of places do that. But other places might have like a junior high that's 7th, 8th, and 9th, but that's what it was. 8th grade, or yeah. Paige Irvine, Corianne Martinez. And it's fun because some of these people still Christmas cards, well, mostly the high school ones, Christmas cards or Facebook, which is always fun, right? Okay, we're almost done. I'm just going to finish my list though, okay? I mean, you don't have to hang out, but I'm still finishing. Kathy Dinger, my friend Kathy Dinger. Wouldn't it be funny if one of these, you're like, wait a minute, Kathy Dinger? You knew Kathy Dinger? I knew Kathy Dinger. Wouldn't that be funny? You never know, right? You never know when things are going to pop out like that. Kathy Dinger, Stephanie Holcomb. So here's a little interesting tidbit, a sad one, but an interesting tidbit about my friend Stephanie Holcomb. Her brother, if you follow Winter Olympics, her brother was, so I'm going to say maybe eight years ago, maybe 2 Winter Olympics ago, gold medal in the 2-man bobsled. And then he died, not in the bobsled, but then he died after that, which was very sad. But that was my friend Stephanie's brother, Stephanie Holcomb. And last but not least, my friend Erin Bolton. So I think I've mentioned this before. My friend Erin Bolton, very interesting. She, when we were in high school, she would put Crisco, like Crisco, shortening that came in the little can or whatever. She would put Crisco on her face every night. She had the most incredibly beautiful skin you have ever seen of anyone in your life. And she put Crisco on. So, all right, friends, there's this little space right here. So I just need to fill that space because that space is bothering me. It's just a little bit too white. And you know what it is? It's trapped white space. So sometimes we talk about trapped white space. Trapped white space. I have this stuff that is just like stuck here. It's stuck here because this visually kind of goes all the way across. We have this little space of trapped white space. So that bothers me. That's what that's called. Sometimes you look at something and you think something's just not right and you don't know why. Well, in my head, that's why. That's trapped white space. So I'm going to go back to my stickers and my die cut. So I wouldn't put this here, but if I put that little house there, that would help to fill that space, right? But a house doesn't really work there because it says bakery. This is also a house, but it doesn't really work there. It says fleur. It's a flower shop. But I might be able to find a die cut in here that I could pop right there. So let's see. We'll look at the back first. Vintage finds, that could work. Let's do what we love. Maybe that vintage finds would work. Let's look. And if not, then I know I have other things from Maggie Holmes that I could find to put there. So let's see what we have in here. This mini book that I do with this collection, the project kit that I'll have on my website as soon as I receive the rest of the product, will be just kind of generic. It'll just kind of be a generic, fun, generic, you know, everyday photos, or you could make it work for lots of different things. That's fun, but that won't go there. All right, so here's the deal. Any of the tags I think that are going to be in here? Oh, actually, that would actually, no, too big, but it doesn't work either. So what I need to look for, that doesn't work either. I am going to go to one of my little, I think everything else in there is, hold on. Actually, those are smaller tags. All right. Let me go in this little section because they're up here. Yes, the fairy girls are fun, aren't they? Don't know your friend, but you did have a crush on Leif Garrett back in the day. I know, right? Oh, we could go on and on. Leif Garrett. That's kind of fun, but I don't really have room for it. Oh, that's a little acetate piece. That's fun, but I don't really have fun. I really don't really have fun. Don't really have room for it unless it kind of tucked in there. That could maybe go there. Let's see what we're going to find that would be small to fit in there. Yes, our childhood crushes. All right, so look at vintage finds. I mean, that actually, this is kind of vintage, right? Oh, good, Karen. Karen finished her 3rd one-page spread while we were working. That's awesome. Oh, goodness. So there's something going on outside my window. Wow, that's awfully close to my window. There's a guy walking backwards, and he is filming this. Oh, that just hit my tree. Huh. They're framing one of the houses in our neighborhood, so it's like the huge beams, and he's driving with the big tractor down the road, and it's carrying all these huge beams. I hope that he did not hurt my tree. Anyhow, sorry, I couldn't help but that because it was kind of a lot going on. Oh no, not the bloom. We don't want that one. We want vintage finds. So vintage finds. Actually, vintage finds kind of works because my childhood friends are kind of vintage, right? And really, the color works well and the size works well. What I want to do though, this was perforated. So let me just grab something really quick. Maybe. Hang on, I'm just looking in my drawer. One of my drawers. All right, I was looking for a nail file, but not one in there. So I'm just grabbing this little thing. This is just a little sanding block. Ooh, my sanding block, it's time to replace because look, the thing just came off of it. So I'm just gonna sand off those little perforated things because those bother me. I could probably nip them off with my scissors too, but I think it's just easier to sand it off. There we go. So vintage finds, that will work. All right, what I didn't get sand off can just kind of tuck underneath. All right, more stuff on the floor. More on the floor. Yeah, sometimes a very dangerous combination. I agree. All right, so if this goes there, then this little guy. Now, can you hear it? Can you hear the backing up part? I think I kind of like that little guy. It's either that, or maybe it's just a butterfly. Butterfly is actually probably better for what I'm doing here, just because this is not acetate. What did they call it on the back? Oh, acetate. Yeah, so it's a little bit thicker. So it's going to have a hard time adhering around that corner. So I think this little guy could just go maybe like right here, right? And then it actually brings in more of the black. And it looks a little bit more vintagey, so it kind of works with that little girl. So there we go. There we go. What a mess I have made. You guys hear that backing up noise? Yeah. Diet Coke break at Lail's window. Oh, okay, hold on. I got to read some of these. There's some good comments coming out right now. Sorry about the noise, friends. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Oh, it's been 6 weeks since I've had a Diet Coke. It's been 6 weeks since I've had sugar. It's been 6 weeks since I've had carbs. Very happy, very proud of myself. I can say that. Let's see. Davy Jones, Mark Lindsay, Bobby Sherman, Barry Gibb. Yes, I loved Andy Gibb. Okay, here we go. So there we go, friends. There is our list. Now, guess what I didn't do on any of my lists? I have not dated any of my lists. I always like to date my lists. So this one I'll come back to because I'm not done with it. It needs a few more decorating things because it's too, well, I say it's too plain. There's a lot going on there. And then this one I definitely have work to do. So, but I need to date this one. So let's see here. I think I will end up just writing a little date right down here. So I'm just going to write 10/21, right? It's October. I don't need to know what day it was. Sometimes I put the dates on. Usually I always try to remember. So you guys remember this a few minutes ago when Karen said, wait a minute, what list was that? When did you do it? I looked and went, oh, we did that on October 2nd because I had dated it for me, it's important to have things dated because, you know, what makes me me in October of 2021 is probably very different than what made me me when I was 20 years old, right? Little time capsules we're kind of building. All right, so that one, that's good. And you know what? That turned out fun. I like the way that turned out. This right here is probably like, if you said, Lael, what's your style? This is probably more my style with lots of white. I love like blush pink, but lots of white and then black as an anchor, as opposed to something like this. But it's important for me to branch out and try different things and play with different things. But if you looked at all of my lists, you would start to see that you would start to kind of see a pattern where I have lots of white and then kind of pops of color. Okay, friends, I am going to turn off the lights. And, oh, Bernice, I'm glad you thought it was fun. Okay, I'm turning off the lights and I'm going to flip the camera. So here's the deal. I took off my little sweater thingy. So now I'm just in a t-shirt. You just have to know I am not a t-shirt person. I don't know why I have to say this, but I'm going to flip the camera. I'm just not very comfortable in a t-shirt. So just know I have a t-shirt on and that's what it is. Okay, we're gonna flip. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, and if you missed me earlier, now you see I have ears on too. So I have an orange t-shirt. You know what? Hold on. Let me shut the window because that's very annoying. Okay, window shutting, and then we'll say our goodbyes. It's still going to be loud, but not as loud. Okay, so here we go. Hello again. See, t-shirt, not me. But this was kind of fun. It says pumpkin spice. So it kind of looks like the Starbucks thing. See? Kind of, oh my gosh. Looks like, wow. Nobody take a screenshot of that, please. I just saw what that looked like. That was horrible. That was not very attractive as I'm pulling out my shirt. Anyhow, let me just look at comments really quick. Oh, Nancy, today made your week. I love that. I love our time together too. This made my week. If you are new to what we do here, this is what it is. I craft and that's what I'm doing. And sometimes you guys are crafting with me. I tell stories, I talk. I'm usually a very social person. And doing these was and continues to be my way of connecting people when I couldn't be out traveling and teaching. So I love these. I also love them for how you guys are meeting people. You guys are meeting each other in the comments, and I love that. That makes me very happy. I also love these because this is the only time I set aside for myself to craft. This is my crafting time. And that's a very specific reason why I do it the way that I do it. I am working live and I try things. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You guys suggest things. Sometimes I try them, sometimes I don't. But this is selfish of me, but it's my craft time. And I like to hang out with you guys. So I kind of kill a couple of birds with one stone as we're doing that. So the giveaway. Remember, a couple things important before you go. The giveaway. Giveaway is leave a comment on the video. So on the video itself, not in the chat, because I won't see it in the chat when I go to pick the prize. Randomly pick the prize. Always random. Leave a comment on the video anytime over the next 2 weeks telling me what one of the things would be on your, even if you're not listening with us, what one of the things would be on your either what I missed about fill in the blank because you've started doing it again, or what I miss about, like present tense, what I still miss about because it's something that you're not doing. Or maybe you miss a person, whatever it is, but just tell me one of the things that you missed or miss in the comments on the video itself. And I will draw, an assortment of Market Square goodies. So you guys just saw me use a little bit of Market Square, but an assortment of brand new Market Square goodies. We will not be together again the next 2 weeks. Sorry. Traveling and teaching again, both of the next 2 weeks. So we will be back together again on the 20th. Is that right? No, 13th? Is that right? Okay. I'm not sure. I don't think it's the 13th. I think it's the weekend, right? I think it's the 20th. So, whatever it is, let's do this because I never know when people are watching. Today, when I'm filming this live, is October 30th. So we will not be together the next 2 Saturdays. Someone really quick look at a calendar and tell me what the next third Saturday is that we'll be together. Will you? I don't even think I can like look at my watch and see. The calendar on my wall that I write still says, oh, where's that? Where is that? Where is that? Where's our traveler's notebook set? Okay, thank you. We'll not be together November 6th and the 13th. I got confused on the 13th. We will be together November 20th. All right, so that will be right before Thanksgiving in the US, but I will also tell you guys the Saturday after Thanksgiving here in the US, we will also do. So I won't see you for 2 weeks. We'll do 2 weeks together, and then we'll skip a week because I'll be out of town again, and then we'll be together for a couple months. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I sure did. I always love our Saturdays. I love, love, love what we do. And I mean we, all of us together, hanging out, and we play, and it's just fun. And some of you I will see tomorrow for the December documented class, my project kit, the December documented mini book kit. We'll be doing that tomorrow. I will see others of you, I think on the 3rd, for the Magic Disney Memories. So if I don't see you, either one of those, or I don't see you in the next 2 weeks, because some of you I'll see in person the next 2 weeks, but if I don't see you at all, then I will see you either on social media, in the Facebook group, or I will see you here on the 20th, okay? Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you are celebrating Halloween, whether it is today or tomorrow, I know some places because, well, Saturday, right? Maybe you're going out to a party, or maybe you're having just a get together at your house, or maybe you're just watching some of the fun movies we talked about, or the scary movies, whatever it is. Have fun, enjoy your Halloween, be super safe because Halloween, and I will see you guys soon.